we can allow.
Politics, policy, Parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From cold mornings
to warm family brunches.
From football to tennis in the car.
In the kitchen.
GB News Breakfast is there. With the stories you need and the conversations that matter.
Anyway, let's talk business.
Well, it has been a historic night in British politics.
It's astonishing, isn't it?
We're here again. To start your day just right. GB News Breakfast.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on GB News.
Britain's news channel.
Good afternoon, it's midday on Saturday the 16th of May and have we got a show for you. This is the weekend on GB News. Don't you dare move a muscle. We're kicking off with more than 100,000 people, probably more, are expected to attend a Unite the Kingdom rally in central London. That's as the government intervened and blocked 11 speakers from entering the UK for the event.
The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are peddling hatred and division.
Yes, well, here in London, the Unite the Kingdom rally is now gathering, and there are quite literally thousands and thousands of people stretching right back up through Kingsway. This march is about to get underway, and the police presence here is very heavy.
And we will be there all day covering that march with Doogie, as well as the annual pro-Palestine Nakba Day rally, marching through the capital too, protesting this displacement of Palestinians during the founding of Israel.
Meanwhile, the Nakba 78 protest is just seconds away from getting underway here in this part of London. We're waiting for these police vans to pull off, and then a march with thousands of people will make its way into central London.
Yep, armoured vehicles, police forces, dogs, drones, helicopters, along with 4,000 officers have been deployed as the Metropolitan Police hope to avoid clashes between these two mammoth protests. Public Order Act conditions are being imposed on both marches, and live facial recognition will be used as part of a protest policing operation for the first time on one of the marches. Oh, meanwhile, the other big story, I can never unsee these shorts, thank you very much, Andy Burnham. The Prime Minister braces for battle as the road to Parliament is cleared for Andy Burnham, that bloke there. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makerfield by-election, reported to be taking place now in June. And Wes Streeting, who left government this week, you might have noticed, is set to make his first speech today since resigning as Health Secretary. Could he launch a leadership bid this afternoon, though?
Yes, everything is to play for in Labour at the moment. Will Keir Starmer hang on? Will he fight an election? Will Wes Streeting put himself up for it? And most importantly, can Andy Burnham win that all-important Makerfield by-election? All of that and much more with me very soon.
OK, I never want to see Andy Burnham shorts again. I never want to hear this again, but unfortunately we will. Eurovision Song Contest 2026 returns tonight amid political controversy and boycotts over Israel's inclusion. Who'd have thought? While the UK once again embraces the underdog mentality with that eccentric entrant, look mum, no computer. I'm Dawn Neeson and the weekend starts right here and right now. So thank you so much for your company. We have an absolutely huge show, and I think a particularly important one today as well, because we are covering both of those massive marches taking place in central London, and also talking about what the Prime Minister said about them. Well, you know, that lovely soft-focused video he put out, sort of talking about fighting for the soul of the country. Well, I'm asking, what is the soul of the country? In Keir Starmer's world, what is the soul of the country? If you joined me earlier on when I was just doing the handover with Charlie and Liv just then, I live in Tower Hamlets. I live in East London. I have done my entire life, right? OK, there's a big mosque there. Not a problem. Yesterday, there were a group of people outside chanting about beheading Jews on the streets of East London as people just went about their shopping, little kids wandered past, pensioners wandering past. What is going on? Is that what Keir Starmer thinks is the soul of our country? Because I certainly don't. And on these marches today, which march is it that chant for global acts of terrorism, that support terrorist organisation, that chants for jihad, and fuelling a rise in acts of actual terrorism, anti-Semitism on our streets? Which march is it that does that? Is it one that demonstrates the soul of the United Kingdom, where we are today? No, it's not, is it? It's really not. Now, you know, regardless of what you think of Tommy Robinson, I know, you know, there's a lot, you know, Marmite if you want, but there is a point going on here, isn't there? Many ordinary people are going on that Unite the Kingdom march. Spoke to some pensioners earlier on yesterday, and some young families going on that march. So what I want to hear today, because this show is about you, get in touch. If you're on the march, we're on the radio, remember, by the way, and you're on your phones and devices, whatever you've got with you. gbnews.com/your say. We are there, we want to hear your voice. Likewise, if you're on the other march as well, we want to hear. Why are you there? What are you supporting? Are you representing the soul of this country? And Prime Minister, if you're watching, you might be a bit busy this afternoon, who knows? What is the soul of the country? Tell me what it means. gbnews.com/your say. Get in touch. Yeah, run over. All of that coming up after your news headlines.
Dawn, thank you and good afternoon. The top stories. The Metropolitan Police has made 2 arrests at Euston Station of 2 people who had arrived for the Unite the Kingdom protest over an unrelated incident in Birmingham. Crowds are now gathering in central London for the pro-Palestine counter-protest against Tommy Robinson's rally. Armoured vehicles and drones, along with 4,000 officers, are being deployed as the Met Police hopes to avoid clashes. Police have described it as an unprecedented security operation. Justice Secretary David Lammy says authorities would act swiftly if protests in London turned violent. Also today, Chelsea and Manchester City are due to clash in the FA Cup final, leaving police concerned that some football fans could go straight from the game to the rallies. The Met has confirmed they will arrest individuals who incite hatred. The Prime Minister braces for battle as the road to Parliament is cleared for Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makerfield by-election, reported to take place in June. It comes as current MP Josh Simons announced he would quit Parliament to make way for Mr Burnham. In his fight back, the Prime Minister is expected to announce an £18 billion boost to defence. That's as Sir Keir Starmer said to be ready to stand down for Andy Burnham if he makes a return to Parliament. An Israeli airstrike on a town in southern Lebanon has killed 6 people, including 3 paramedics, according to Lebanon's health ministry. It comes as the US said the 2 countries had agreed a 45-day ceasefire. The health ministry said a 4th paramedic had sustained critical injuries after a civil defence centre was attacked in the town of Hafur. On Friday, the US State Department announced Israel and Lebanon had agreed to extend their shaky ceasefire after 2 days of negotiations. US President Donald Trump announced the truce on the 16th of April. But Israel and Hezbollah have continued to exchange fire since then. A charity has called for a wider rollout of meningitis vaccines after a teenager in Oxfordshire died after contracting the disease. Lewis Waters, a 6th form pupil at the Henley College, died earlier this week. 2 pupils, one from Reading Blue Coat School and another from Highdown Secondary School and 6th form centre in Reading, are also being treated for meningitis. The Department of Health and Social Care said the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation is reviewing eligibility for routine meningitis B vaccinations. Elsewhere in Scotland, it's winner takes all at Parkhead as Celtic host Hearts, with the SPFL title up for grabs. If Hearts win, it would mark the first time for 66 years that they've taken the trophy. And should they win, Hearts are expected to celebrate on the streets of Edinburgh tomorrow. An earlier match between Celtic and Motherwell stirred some controversy over a penalty disputed by fans. Police Scotland said a 19-year-old man's been arrested and charged after referee John Beaton had his personal details leaked in the wake of the penalty. The Scottish FA's released a statement saying attempts to compromise the safety of match officials, such vigilantism motivated by decisions perceived to be right or wrong on a field of play, is a scourge on our national game, and we're grateful to Police Scotland for their swift intervention. And the Eurovision Song Contest reaches its grand final tonight, with Finland, Greece and Australia among the favourites to win. Well, let's have a listen to the UK's entry this year by Look Mum No Computer. Those are the latest headlines for now. It's over to Dawn.
You can now watch GB News live across the United States of America and the world on Truth Plus. Scan the QR code to find out more, or visit gbnews.com/truth.
Thank you very much, Tatiana, and thank you, more importantly, for your company today, because, as always, this show is all about you. In particular, a special one today, so do get your messages coming in. Lots of you asking whether I can show that footage from the mosque in Tower Hamlets, where I live. Literally staggering distance to my house. And we don't know who owns the copyright to it, unfortunately, so until we can trace that, we can't show it to you. But it is online. Have a look, have a Google. But it's going to make you very, very angry. OK, now let's get straight into the main part of the show. London is gearing up for that huge day of protest, with tens of thousands expected at rival demonstrations across the capital. The Met says today could be one of its busiest operations in years, with facial recognition cameras, drones and mounted officers all being deployed. Heavy restrictions have been put in place to keep the Unite the Kingdom pro-Palestine Nakba Day rallies separate. Whether that succeeds or not is another matter. So let's go live to the scene straight away. We've got GB News reporter Doogie Beattie live from the Unite the Kingdom rally in central London. Doogie, what's happening?
Well done. I mean, there are quite literally thousands and thousands of people here. Just look at that. Steve, if you just get that focused in here. Right, the whole way back up this road in Woburn, there are people from every part of the British Isles. The Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales. I've even seen flags from the Isle of Man. And unfortunately, last year when we were here, what led this parade out at the start was policemen that were dressed in shirts, very lightly, light touch policing. But unfortunately today, the public order units have been called in right at the front of this protest. And that is not a good look, we must say straight away, for these thousands and thousands of people that have come from across the UK. Now, why are they here? They're not all necessarily Tommy Robinson supporters, but they are people from all walks of life across the UK. There's farmers, manufacturers, there's businessmen, and there's people that are on the dole inside this, all standing together because they believe that they're not being listened to. Now, we don't want to go too close in there, Dawn, because they start singing that song that we keep having to apologise for on air. So at this moment, we are quite literally, it's due to start at 12. There are rumours that it's going to start at 1 instead, because there's that many people trying to get in to join the back end of this protest. So we do expect very, very large numbers here, and we'll be with you throughout the rest of this protest.
Doogie, looking forward to it, and please try and talk to as many people as possible too. I want to understand why they're there. Are they representing the soul of this country, as our Prime Minister seems to think? They're doing the opposite. Are they racists? Let's put that question to them. You know what I think. In any case, Doogie, live from there throughout the show. Thank you so much. So stay with us. And as Doogie has just said, apologies if you do hear any offensive language. Obviously, we can't control the thousands of people that are marching through the streets in London today, so there might be the odd naughty word sneaking out, although many of you might actually agree with them. Couldn't possibly comment myself. OK, now, GB News national reporter Sophie Reaper joins us live also from central London. She's at the pro-Palestine Nakba Day rally. Sophie, good to see you. Firstly, explain what this rally is about exactly.
Well, Dawn, it's the 78th year since the cleansing of Palestine, a historical event, which that is what Nakba means. It literally means cleansing. And they come together today every year to mark that particular occasion. As I say, today, or this year, is the 78th anniversary. But unfortunately, of course, this has been hijacked by some people. We are, at the moment, this march hasn't even started yet, Dawn. Thousands of people already gathering, but we have already seen one arrest. You may be seeing that's being made over my shoulder. One arrest that's already been made. I'm sure there will be more to come throughout the day, and that will be more will come as this protest gets underway. We were expecting a 12 o'clock start. They have closed the road down here now, and as you can see around me, there are hundreds of police present here just trying to keep these thousands in order. We're waiting for these tactical aid vans to move off before the march itself starts. But we have seen lots of signage today, lots of people here present with their Palestine flags. We've also seen some people wearing orange hazmat suits, which I've done some looking into, and they're people who are protesting specifically against hostages. They were also wearing Nigel Farage and Donald Trump masks. Lots of signs as well against those two particular political figures. We're seeing signs as well against Sir Keir Starmer, saying that he's got blood on his hands. Lots of people, we can see a sign just to my right, which very, very controversial, this, and very, very, it's a hard one, but there's a sign that says from the river to the sea, which, as we know, Dawn, often looked frowned upon, and for many circles, particularly those in the Jewish communities, thought of as hate speech. We're going to be waiting, of course, to see, you can't see it, but all the way back, all the way up this road here in London, there are thousands of people gathered, all here to protest what's happening in Palestine right now, as well as, of course, marking the 78th anniversary of Nakba.
Sophie, thank you so much. And the same to you. Let's try and talk to as many people as we possibly can on that march, why they're there, what they are protesting for, what they want done, what do they feel about the other march. We need all these questions answered. And please do let us know whether anyone carrying that from the river to the sea sign does actually get arrested, because that's what we warned yesterday. If you're inciting any form of hatred, you face the full force of the law. See how many get arrested for that. Sophie Reaper, we'll be coming back to you very soon. Thank you so much for that. Astonishing. Yeah, that's what we heard yesterday, wasn't it? Feel the full force of the law. Keir Starmer warned in that lovely, soft-focus video. No hate speech, no inciting hatred. Well, from the river to the sea, before the march even started, to Jewish people, that is inciting hatred. OK, let's talk to former government advisor on political violence, Lord Warney. Lord Warney, can I call you John? It feels wrong to call you good Lord on a Saturday morning. John, thank you so much for joining us. John, your initial reaction to both of these marches going on the same day in London?
I think they shouldn't be happening on the same day, and I think them coming together in central London in this way, in these numbers, creates a clear risk of serious public disorder, which is the trigger for the Met having a responsibility to say to the Home Secretary to recommend that they don't go ahead. And I think it is really risky that the Met have chosen not to do that on this occasion. And we all hope that they will pass off relatively without incident. But you're having to have several thousand police officers on the street because of this, which could be used in other frontline ways to actually deliver on the priorities of Londoners. And I think for the majority of people in the capital, they will not want to be being associated with this, particularly the Jewish people who are trying to attend synagogue, many of whom are saying that they are too afraid to go to the Central London Westminster Synagogue because the Nakba March, which actually means, it doesn't mean cleansing, it means a disaster, a catastrophe. It refers to the formation of the state of Israel, which some people remain implacably opposed to. They are afraid, understandably, to go to synagogue and have to walk through the Nakba protesters.
And what do you... I mean, this is obviously going to cost us £4.5 million as well. What do you think to the fact... What did you make of what Keir Starmer had to say? That speech he gave yesterday about sort of like fighting for the soul of this country and, you know, we'll fight hatred. And yet already, John, before the Palestine march already kicked off, we're seeing banners from the river to the sea, which, as we know, for Jewish people, means basically the obliteration of Israel. That surely is inciting hate. That is upsetting. That is what we should be stopping happening, isn't it?
It is. I'd like to see the government be clearer that there is a level of hatred and intolerance and criminality, actually, probably on both of these marches. It's probably incumbent on GBNews to recognise that as well. And no matter whether your sympathies are with the base motivation of the United Kingdom rally or with the Nakba rally, in both of those marches, you might be able to say that the majority of people are peaceful, are not breaking the law, are not themselves spouting racist or criminal slogans. But in both of them, there will be a minority of people who are doing this, and I think and I would say that irredeemably taints both of these marches. And I think for both of them, if there are people who care about the sense of injustice in Palestine, or people who have real deep concerns about immigration and want to see their country back, these organisers of these rallies should not be your champions. You should need to find a different way to get your voice across.
And John, what did you make of the fact that our 11 far-right agitators have been banned from entering the UK to take part in the Unite the Kingdom rally, two of them being elected politicians?
Yeah, I mean, that is a power that the Home Secretary has got, and I think it's right that she uses that on all sides, and there is a limit to what we can do, or there's a different set of tools that we have when British citizens are spouting racist nonsense or anti-Semitic nonsense or vile Islamist rhetoric. There's a certain amount we can do there, but when it's foreigners who are coming in and importing those extreme views into Britain, I think it's fair enough, whether it is a radical hate preacher, a Muslim imam, or it's someone of the far right. The Home Secretary can say, this is not conducive to the public good. You're not coming in for this.
OK, but, I mean, this comes not that long ago after our Prime Minister was shaking hands with the President of Syria, a former member of al-Qaeda and a jihad supporter. Yeah,
look, I mean, I've got concerns with the way that we are normalizing relations with Syria so quickly. But I think there will sometimes be a difficult line. You are forcing me, Dawn, into defending the actions of the Prime Minister, which is not something I'm doing a great deal of.
Sorry, that's a really awkward place to be, I know.
At the moment, but there will be occasions where any government has to choose to have relations with governments that he feels are unsavoury. I'm concerned about Syria, but I don't think it is. It isn't equivocal to our right as a country just to say, actually, you know what, you're a racist loudmouth or you're an Islamist hate preacher, you're not coming in and stirring up trouble here. I think that's fair enough. I think most people think it is fair enough to do that.
OK, let's get you back on more comfortable territory. I mean, the Prime Minister's very nice, soft-focus little film he put out yesterday, implying, and the implication was clearly there, that many people on the Unite the Kingdom march were racist thugs, and that's where facial recognition is going to be used, and that's where we've got armoured vehicles. Why is this stricter rules come into play now, just before this march, when we've had 2 years of people spouting the most anti-Semitic filth on our streets, and nothing was done? Yeah, well, I hope that this is a signal that this kind of technology will be able to be more widely used. I mean, I think there was a clear tactical thing that the Prime Minister has probably introduced it
today, and I think most people on the centre and the left will be instinctively more comfortable with it being used to root out people with criminal records associated with the far right. But we should be using this to be able to identify people with clear criminal records, or in the case of these hate-infested Gaza marches, to be able to track down some of the people who've been shown to be chanting things like globalize the Intifada, which basically means that the killing of Jews in the Middle East to be brought onto British streets. So I think there's a tactical thing about why he's done it today, but the test will be, for me, is this now going to be rolled out more widely? And if it is, then I think I hope that people will be able to broadly accept what's happening.
OK. John, just one quick final question. Keir Starmer warned on Saturday of a fight for the soul of this country. What is the soul of this country to you?
I think we are a decent, tolerant, law-abiding people who are being pushed to our limit by the sense of importing an intolerance, an opposition to our values, and people are just not prepared to see their country being hollowed out from within by that. So I'm not sure if that is exactly what Keir means. That's what I mean, and that's exactly where the Labour government needs to be, and it needs to speak out much more clearly, I think, about the Islamist extremism and hatred which has been brewing in parts of our community, which is putting in particular the Jewish community at risk, but is undermining our values overall as a nation. And we have to be absolutely clear that that is not part of Britain's future, and we're going to stand up against it. OK, John, Lord Warney, thank you so much for joining me on a Saturday, and thank you so much for your time. Much more coming up after the break.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What we're going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates, 5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What did she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace
Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
From court mornings
to warm family brunches.
From football to tennis in the car.
In the kitchen.
GB News Breakfast is there.
with the stories you need and the conversations that matter.
Anyway, let's talk business.
Well, it has been a historic night in British politics.
It's astonishing, isn't it?
We're here again. To start your day just right. GB News Breakfast.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on GB News.
Britain's news channel.
Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for your company. This is The Weekend and I'm Dawn Neeson and you are the most important people. gbnews.com/your say. Loads of you getting in touch. Again, like yesterday, when we talked about March, loads of you get in touch that the system freezes, but I will get to them as a problem. But we're going to move on a little bit now. We're going to show you the pictures live from the marches on your screens. I don't need to explain which pictures relate to which marches. I think you might be able to tell by the flags, possibly. Although the director thinks someone is waving a Mexican flag there. I've got no idea what's going on in their gallery. Any case, that's him outed, isn't it? OK, now, let's talk politics, because we have to, but we are not... You're OK to carry on eating your sarnie. We are not going to show you that picture of Andy Burnham in his running shorts, OK? You are safe if you're having your lunch. Yeah, the Prime Minister braces for battle as the road to Parliament is cleared for, yep, that Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makerfield by-election, reported to take place in mid-June now. So let's talk to the wonderful Liv Utley, who's working a huge shift today, as usual, who has got all the gory details for us. Let's talk about the shorts, Liv. No, let's not talk about the shorts. Olivia, where are we with this saga this morning now?
Well, it's a very good question. Everything is looking extremely volatile and fluid this morning. We're saying that the road is cleared for Andy Burnham's route into Parliament. It is insofar as the NEC have agreed that he can stand in the by-election, but he does have that quite large hurdle of actually winning that by-election in Makerfield. It's true that Andy Burnham is popular. In Manchester, his popularity ratings is on +4. It might not sound very impressive, but every leader of every political party in the UK is on negative figures. It's true that he won a Manchester mayoralty a second time with a pretty big majority, and he does have his friends and allies in Parliament and outside of it. But, of course, this seat in Makerfield is a reform-facing seat. It's somewhere which Reform are considering its heartlands. And if you look at a map of the Greater Manchester and surrounding area from the last week's local elections, you can see it essentially turning from red to turquoise. Now, Andy Burnham claims that that's the way he wanted it to be. He wanted to prove that he could win in a Reform-facing seat. He's calling it a proof of concept by-election. If he can win in Makerfield, then he can win back the country. I think there may be a little bit of spin going on there. From what I heard, Josh Simons wasn't the first MP who Andy Burnham approached requesting that he stood down to make way for him. I think there were other Manchester seats he might have preferred to get his hands on. The question now, of course, is what happens with Keir Starmer. It sounds as though he's holed up in Chequers this weekend, discussing with aides and family what he should do if Andy Burnham does win that by-election. Does he stand aside and simply allow for a coronation of Burnham, who's thought to be very popular within the Labour Party, or does he fight on? We just don't know. I don't think Keir Starmer knows himself yet. He's talking about this big defence announcement, 18 billion for defence. Is that a plea, a ploy to make his way back, to try and stand against Burnham in a potential leadership campaign? Then, of course, you've got all the other unknowns. What's going to happen to Wes Streeting? Wes Streeting has made no secret his whole life of his ambition to become Prime Minister one day. Will he really stand aside for Andy Burnham? I'm actually going to a speech, the first speech that he'll be giving since resigning from the Cabinet, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, so perhaps we'll get some more information there. As I say, everything looking very, very fluid indeed this morning.
It is, and you're keeping on top of it. Well done, Olivia Utley there. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what Wes has got to say today. That's Olivia Utley there, our GB News political correspondent. A very good one she is too. OK, I'm Dawn Neeson. This is GB News, and there's lots more coming up on today's show, but let's get some news headlines from Tatiana Sanchez.
Dawn, thank you. The top stories. The Metropolitan Police has made 2 arrests at Euston Station of 2 people who had arrived for the Unite the Kingdom protest over an unrelated incident in Birmingham. Crowds are now gathering in central London for the pro-Palestine protest against Tommy Robinson's rally, and you are seeing live pictures from that rally on your screens right now. Armoured vehicles and drones, along with 4,000 officers being deployed as the Met Police hopes to avoid any clashes. Police have described it as an unprecedented security operation. The Prime Minister braces for battle as the road to Parliament is cleared for Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makerfield by-election, reported to take place in June. It comes as current MP Josh Simons announced he would quit Parliament to make way for Mr Burnham. And in Scotland, it's winner-takes-all at Parkhead as Celtic host Hearts, with the SPFL title up for grabs. If Hearts win, it would mark the first time in 66 years they've taken the trophy. Those are the latest headlines. For now, more in half an hour.
Tune in to GB News Radio wherever you are. Online, on DAB Digital Radio, on TuneIn, on Radio Player, on Nation Player and on your smart speaker. Just say, play GB News.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. Now, remember, let me know your thoughts on all the stories we've been discussing today by visiting gbnews.com visiting is very posh, isn't it? By going to gbnews.com/your-say and joining in the conversation, or scan the QR code. I will read them out, but it's frozen. So many want to get in touch. There's loads more coming up on today's show.
The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are peddling hatred and division.
Is that every time I see that video, what is he doing? The soft focus around the edges. Ugh. Anyway, Starmer's warning clearly didn't work, did it? Because tens of thousands of people are expected to attend the Unite the Kingdom rally in central London today, which is just about getting underway any minute now. That's as the government intervened and blocked 11 speakers from entering the UK for the event, included 2 politicians from other countries. All of that and much more to come. I'm Dawn Neeson. This is GB News, Britain's news channel. Don't you dare move a muscle. See you soon.
Hello there, welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office, and we'll see increasing amounts of cloud moving in from the west through today, limiting the amount of sunshine to eastern areas, and there will be some patchy rain as well. It's this weather front that is slowly pushing its way eastward today, introducing that cloud and patchy rain. But brightness holding on across eastern areas, though becoming increasingly limited later on in the afternoon, with patchy rain pushing its way eastwards across most parts. The rain could turn heavy at times across parts of Northern Ireland into Wales later on today, with some showers starting to follow. But many eastern areas along the coast there staying dry, with temperatures in any sunshine reaching 15 or 16 Celsius as the winds start to turn more westerly. We start to lose that cold northerly breeze that we've had in recent days. This evening time, the band of rain across western Scotland will continue to slowly push north and eastward, so a dry evening to come across northern and eastern parts here. Temperatures around 10 or 11 Celsius. Showers across Northern Ireland, some glimmers of sunshine, but a wet evening to come across much of England and Wales. Patchy rain, 1 or 2 heavier bursts possible in the west, and that's slowly pushing eastwards later on. Overnight, the band of rain continues to push across the country, with clearer spells and showers following on behind. Some of these showers could be heavy for Northern Ireland, some gusty winds developing too. And under the clearer spells, temperatures will drop away overnight, but not as low as recent nights. We saw -5 in Scotland last night. We're looking more likely 6 or 7 degrees under the cloud and rain. But it does mean a cloudy, damp start to the day on Sunday across Scotland, showers across Northern Ireland. England and Wales are generally a bright start with sunny spells, and that continues through the day, but those showers moving in as we go into the afternoon. Some of them will be heavy at times, the risk of hail and thunder. Best of the sunshine in the east, and highs of 16 to 17 Celsius, so a little warmer.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits. You have the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless. But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show. Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Hello, welcome back to the weekend with me, Dawn Neeson. Finally got the scroller thing working, so keep them coming in, gbnews.com/your say. Now, London's gearing up for a huge day of protest with tens of thousands expected at rival demonstrations across the capital. The Met says today could be one of its busiest operations in years, with facial recognition cameras, drones, mounted officers all being deployed. Heavy restrictions have been put in place to keep the Unite the Kingdom and pro-Palestine Nakba rallies separate. Let's see how that one goes, shall we? GB News national reporter Sophie Reaper joins us now from central London. She's at the pro-Palestine Nakba rally today. Sophie, how's it going?
Well, Dawn, we're still waiting for things to get underway here, and I just want to start off by making a slight correction on myself from earlier on in the hour. I said that Nakba means cleansing. It doesn't. It refers to the ethnic cleansing of Palestine, but what it literally translates to is disaster or catastrophe. So apologies for that confusion earlier on. I also wanted to let you know that the arrest we showed you earlier on in the hour, we're hearing reports that that was because that female was refusing to remove a mask that was covering her face, and that the people in the orange hazmat suits that I referred to earlier, they've also been asked to remove those masks of Nigel Farage. But first, Dawn, let's try and speak to some people here, because that's what we're all about, of course. We are the People's Channel. We want to speak to the people one way or the other. I just want to pre-warn, previously we've not had the best kind of reception at these marches, so I apologise in advance for any kind of language that we may get. Let's see if there's someone I could perhaps speak to. Excuse me, guys. Do you mind if I really quickly just ask you why you're here today? Oh, just for the news. We're just live on air right now. Which news? GB News. No. GB News? No. Your protest is over there. You can. No, we're here to get everyone's opinion. That's fine. Let's just show you a sign. Genocide. We have a moral and legal imperative to act. Thank you anyway. Thank you anyway. Let's see if there's anyone else we could maybe speak to. Guys, do you mind if I really quickly ask why you're here today? No?
We're here for the Nakba Day.
And why is that so important to you?
We don't deal with you.
OK, nope, that's absolutely no problem. We're just trying to give people their say here to Dawn. Of course, as I say, we are the People's Channel. Yourself, sir, would you mind if I ask why you're here today?
News, they're here to twist.
I'm just here to ask your opinion. I'm not going to twist. It's live on air. So,
I'm here for Palestine. Whoa, off you go! GB News! Off you go! Because I can see, though, and you have seen yourself, how they bomb buildings with children and families in there, isn't it? Do they or do they not?
And why is it so important to you to mark Nakba?
Let me ask a question. If a relative, a family or a neighbour next to you getting attacked, oppressed and attacked, and they're trying to rape their children, would you keep quiet or would you stand with on their, or at least would you support that side or their side, the attackers?
I won't comment on that, but I want to thank you for speaking to us. I really appreciate it. I know some people may say we're trying to twist it. I just wanted to hear why you're here today. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Dawn, I'm going to leave it there because we have attracted quite a crowd now. The police are getting involved. I just want to leave it there. We're going to take a step away. But there we are. We did hear one voice. Lots of people not willing to speak to us. But that's why we're here today. We want to hear what people have to say.
We certainly do. Sophie, thank you so much. It's sterling work there. And it's quite astonishing that instantly you mentioned that you're from GB News. There's a threatening atmosphere around you. But fair play to that gentleman for talking to Sophie. I don't understand why people on this march have a problem with talking to the journalists. Is it they're worried that they don't feel like they're going to come across? Well, I don't know. I don't know. We should try and find it out for you if anyone will actually talk to Sophie, which is quite astonishing. If they're not doing anything wrong, why won't they talk to us? In any case, let's move on now. now and talk about the policing side of this, because it's very expensive. It's one of the biggest policing operations in recent years. So let's talk to former London police officer and director of Law and Order Foundation, Norman Brennan. Norman, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Norman, what do you make of the two marches going on together today? How's that for planning and the actual policing operation?
Well, it's never helpful when you've got two opposing demonstrations in the same area, because it's fraught with all sorts of danger, because people are very emotive. They've got their strong feelings on their side, and they often disagree with the other side. Police in the demonstrations, Dawn, I see every week now. It costs millions. Thousands of police officers are taken away through mutual aid from not just London, but all county forces in the surrounding area. So these then deplete those areas from police officers where they already don't see them. The cost is huge. In relation to the Unite the Kingdom demonstration, I actually attended the last one. I'm an independent spokesperson on policing, plus I advise victims and I tell the public the law. So I'm very impartial. And I'll be quite honest, I heard the police side, then I heard from Tommy Robinson's groups. So I thought I'd attend myself with an armed response sergeant from Devon and Cornwall. So there were two of us, great mates. And do you know what, Dawn? I met so many lovely people from all over Britain, different jobs, different nationalities. I hardly heard any swearing, but what I did hear was so many people that said, Norman, I love my country, but I don't recognise it, and I don't like the direction it's going in. And I'll be quite honest with you, Dawn, I've been in policing and law and order for 50 years, and I couldn't agree more with them. I enjoyed the day, and I reported afterwards, despite a couple of skirmishes, unlike places like Notting Hill, where there's regularly murders, dozens of stabbings, dozens of police officers being assaulted. There are always arrests, and I hope today it's peaceful and both sides actually enjoy the day, the police enjoy their day, and everybody goes home without being assaulted or arrested, and police officers return to their families, most of who are working their rest days.
I mean, you know, the people on the front line have a very tough job, certainly on days like today. Norman, how helpful did you think the Prime Minister's little speech that he did yesterday, saying that, you know, this is damaging the soul of the United Kingdom, and many people on the Unite the Kingdom rally will be far-right racist thugs? What did you make? Is that helpful comments?
Well, I saw him read his comments, Dawn, on LBC, and to be honest, I thought it was disgraceful. Basically, he was inciting fear, and fear incites anger. Anger incites probably violence. Yeah. It was very unhelpful, and I'll be quite honest with you, I actually attended there, and according to the Prime Minister, I'm now far right. Well, I'm not far right, I'm very far right in relation to the law, what I see, what I perceive. And I see a country, and these demonstrations, getting back to that point, Dawn, every week I see demonstrations from people that often hate us. They've come to this country and they're demonstrating on issues that have got absolutely nothing to do with Britain, only their own concerns, and they're often using violence. I never saw any of that at the Unite the Kingdom demonstration last time, but what I do see is politicians sticking their nose in, trying to gain points by causing fear. The Prime Minister was outraged. It was just outrageous. And when I actually heard it, Dawn, I'll tell you what to finish off with. It was like this. He's outraged at certain perceptions of fear of violence. And unlike where the Black Lives Matter came to town during COVID, etc., he didn't say anything against them. He actually went down on his knees. Convenient outrage, in my view.
OK, Norman, we'll finish it there. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Norman Brennan there, former London police officer and director of Law and Order Foundation. Thank you so much, Norman. OK, it is coming up to, well, it's nearly 10 to 1, to be honest with you. And we are going to, I'm Dawn Neeson, this is GB News. There's lots more coming up on today's show. But if you are in search for some holiday sun, it's a bit nippy today, isn't it? Here's the forecast for those top European destinations for you.
Ready to soak up that holiday sunshine?
Won't we need some cover?
No worries. All sorted.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
The weather across southern Europe is looking fairly mixed tomorrow. We do have high pressure out in the Atlantic just to the west of Iberia, and that's bringing generally settled conditions across much of Spain and Portugal. Not totally dry though, a few outbreaks of rain, particularly towards the north, and there are some outbreaks of rain further east, particularly around parts of Croatia and Greece, and some of this could be heavy at times. But the fine weather looks to be more dominant as we go into next week. Bye-bye.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact that Trump made a good start, no.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
This is GB News, Britain's news channel.
We're here at Lucky Hedgehog Rescue in Grimston in East Yorkshire for Hedgehog Awareness Week this week, and we're joined now by the founder, Lucy, of the charity. Lucy, hello. You're just about to take Ben out here. You've got 43 sick and injured hedgehogs here at the moment. Just tell us what's wrong with Ben.
Ben had a broken leg and it was a nasty fracture, and our lovely vets at Barton Veterinary Centre in the Humber have amputated the leg. It's a hind leg, and he's thriving really, really well, but we have to take them case by case. But I'm just going to check on him again and weigh him while you're here, so we don't unnecessarily disturb him. But this is what we have to do every day anyway, so we've saved him for you.
Thank you. So I'll just let you take Ben out now. You've been going for 13 years now. This is sort of part of your home, is the Hedgehog Rescue. Slowly and slowly you've been expanding to look after one of the nation's favourite, or beautiful Ben there, the hedgehog. Obviously this week is all about raising awareness for hedgehogs. What are tips that people can follow to look after hedgehogs that they may see in their gardens and around?
Well, the main injuries we get in are caused by dog attacks and strimmers. We've lost thousands to them. So if people can be aware of their dogs at night or at dusk, keep them on a lead or be with them in the garden so that they don't attack hedgehogs. Strimmers, learn to use them properly.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes and Co weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hello, welcome back to the weekend with me, Dawn and Neeson. Now, we are going to talk sport, we are going to talk football, because it's a big weekend for sport as well, but we are going to stay on the scenes from the Unite the Kingdom rally going on in London today. So that's what the pictures are. But the voice and the little box in the corner will be Aidan McGee. Aidan McGee, it's a huge day for football. And, of course, we've got the policing issue, the FA Cup in London at the same time as these huge rallies as well.
Yeah, we have. Look, I mean, there's lots of different ways you can go with the sport today, but I just think you can't look past the FA Cup final, can you? I mean, the Premier League cleared the decks of all the matches today. Normally, this would be a very busy day for the Premier League, even though it's relatively late in the year for the season to finish. But nonetheless, they're all playing tomorrow and on Monday, and even a game on Tuesday as well. Today, it's all about Manchester City and Chelsea, and we're going back to the 3 o'clock kickoff as well. A bit of a misnomer, the argument around that one, I feel. Yes, we always used to be saw him around the television, didn't we, at 3 o'clock? Was it a big day in your house?
Yeah, huge. Especially when West Ham were there.
Yeah, I know. What was your day like? Tell me.
Oh, well, you'd get up and the whole thing would be around the FA Cup. And you get the papers,
coverage would start around 9 o'clock,
exactly. You'd watch the players going there.
There's some dubious TV going on there as well.
Yeah, well, yeah. But no, the magic of the FA, it has gone, to be honest with you.
Yes, it has. It has. It's for many, it's just another game, really. But that's because the prize money just isn't as big as it is in the Premier League. You get more for finishing bottom of the Premier League than you do for winning the FA Cup. It's extraordinary, really, isn't it? So that has to be addressed at some point, you would think. In terms of how the game would go, look, as long as it's a good story, that's what I'm interested in. I don't think Chelsea are going to win today. I really don't. I think Manchester City are going to take it. But nonetheless, I think that even if they finish this season, Manchester City with 2 trophies, and they don't win the league, I think you'd have to say it's a reasonable season for them. Is it going to be Pep's last? Well, he's insisting that he's going to stay another year, but we wait and see what happens on that. But I do think that if we get a decent game, that's what I'll be happy with.
Yeah, look, the FA Cups, though, they are notoriously... I mean, you get all hyped up, as you say, and they're notoriously rubbish.
Yes, but last year it was only 1-0 to Crystal Palace, and it kicked off at 5:30, but it was a good story. We got an upset, and I thought it wasn't a bad game, actually. It was instant-packed, so it doesn't have to have loads and loads of goals in it.
No.
But as you say, they're extremely cagey affairs. Have you noticed that the playoff final has become almost like the FA Cup final now? But in the early years of the playoff finals, we were seeing 4-3s and 3-2s in the finals. There were some blockbuster games. There was 98, Charlton 4, Sunderland 4, Charlton winning on penalties. Now they're all really, really tight. 1-0s, 0-0s, because the stakes are so high. Winning that game alone can be worth around 160, 180 million pounds. And so unless the FA Cup gets back to that, we're not going to see the prestige restored to the competition, I don't think.
Well, it's still the magic of the FA Cup to me. Aidan McGee, thank you so much, as always. OK, I'm Dawn Neeson. This is GBNews. There's lots more coming up on today's show, so don't move a muscle. Armoured vehicles, police horses, dogs, drones and helicopters, along with 4,000 police officers have been deployed as the Met Police hope to avoid clashes between those two big marches. More of that coming up after the weather. See you then.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office, and we'll see increasing amounts of cloud moving in from the west through today, limiting the amount of sunshine to eastern areas, and there will be some patchy rain as well. It's this weather front that is slowly pushing its way eastward today, introducing that cloud and patchy rain. But brightness holding on across eastern areas, though becoming increasingly limited later on in the afternoon, with patchy rain pushing its way eastwards across most parts. The rain could turn heavy at times across parts of Northern Ireland into Wales later on today, with some showers starting to follow. But many eastern areas along the coast there staying dry, with temperatures in any sunshine reaching 15 or 16 Celsius. As the winds start to turn more westerly, we start to lose that cold northerly breeze that we've had in recent days. This evening time, the band of rain across western Scotland will continue to slowly push north and eastward, so a dry evening to come across northern and eastern parts here. Temperatures around 10 or 11 Celsius. Showers across Northern Ireland, some glimmers of sunshine, but a wet evening to come across much of England and Wales. Patchy rain, 1 or 2 heavier bursts possible in the west, and that's slowly pushing eastwards later on. Overnight, the band of rain continues to push across the country, with clearer spells and showers following on behind. Some of these showers could be heavy for Northern Ireland, some gusty winds developing too. And under the clearer spells, temperatures will drop away overnight, but not as low as recent nights. We saw -5 in Scotland last night. We're looking more likely 6 or 7 degrees under the cloud and rain. But it does mean a cloudy, damp start to the day on Sunday across Scotland. Showers across Northern Ireland. England and Wales are generally a bright start with sunny spells, and that continues through the day, but those showers moving in as we go into the afternoon. Some of them will be heavy at times, a risk of hail and thunder. Best of the sunshine in the east, and highs of 16 to 17 Celsius, so a little warmer.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
We're counting down to a spectacular summer. It's your chance to win £76,543 and 21 pence in totally tax-free cash. A lump sum that you could have in time to splash out with this summer. And because it's tax-free, you get to keep every single penny. For a chance to win, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entry starts at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB21 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 26th of June. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions. But every Friday night at 9 p.m, you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates, 5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What does she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in,
Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christie's Tonight, Late Edition.
Alex Armstrong Tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Good afternoon, it's 1 o'clock on Saturday the 16th of May and this is the weekend on GB News with a huge show for you. As tens of thousands of people at the Unite the Kingdom rally in central London today gather, that's as the government intervened and blocked 11 speakers from entering the UK for the event.
Tens of thousands is exactly what's here on the Kingsway Road. They are stretched right back. Supporters from right across the UK and thousands more to join it on the route.
Lovely. And the annual pro-Palestine Nakba Day rally is marching through the capital too, protesting the displacement of Palestinians during the founding of Israel.
Thousands of people are now on the move here, Dawn, making their way into central London as part of this Nakba 78 pro-Palestine march. And armoured vehicles, police horses, dogs, drones and helicopters, along with some 4,000 officers, have been deployed by the Metropolitan Police as they hope to avoid clashes between the two protests. Public Order Act conditions are being imposed on both marches and live facial recognition will be used as part of a protest, policing for the first time in many years on one of them. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister, it's the short picture, people. The Prime Minister braces for battle as the road to Parliament is clear for Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in a Makerfield by-election reported to take place in June. Wes Streeting, who left government this week, in case you hadn't heard, is set to make his first speech today since resigning as Health Secretary. Could he launch a leadership bid this afternoon, though?
Yes, everything is looking very uncertain indeed this morning, with all sorts of questions swirling around Westminster. Will Keir Starmer stand down? Will Wes Streeting step up? And can Andy Burnham win that all-important Makerfield by-election? More with me very soon.
I'm Dawn Neeson, and my question is, where did he get those shorts from? Anyway, this is The Weekend. So thank you so much for your company. On this pretty seismic day, London is flooded with protesters from the Unite the Kingdom rally on one side and the Nakba rally on the other side. And we have lots of you getting in touch. I want to read this message out. This is from Linda. Good afternoon, Linda. Linda says, I worry about GB News staff putting themselves in danger in front of the Nakba rally marchers. The majority of who had intelligence to put their side of the debate over. They behaved just like sheep. Whatever happened to intelligent debate? Now, we've got the wonderful Sophie Reaper down covering that march, and if you missed the first hour, she went to try and ask a few people why they were there, what it meant to them to be on this march, and many refused to speak to her. There was instantly an air of aggression around her. I think that's the way to say it. One gentleman did actually talk to her, a fair play to him, but we're just interested in putting both sides across. On the other hand, we have got Doogie Beattie at the Unite the Kingdom march, which seems to have a much more party atmosphere, much more friendly. But do keep those messages coming in, please. I will read as many out as possible. gbnews.com/yoursay is the way to get involved, and I'm very keen to hear from you, especially if you are on either of the marches. Please do get in touch. We are on the radio, remember, or if you've got your phone with you or an iPad or a laptop, you can watch us on there as well. Please do get in touch. I want to hear what you're thinking today. Anyways, all of that coming up after your news headlines with Tatiana Sanchez.
Dawn, thank you. The top stories. Tens of thousands of protesters have descended on London for two marches, the Unite the Kingdom rally organised by Tommy Robinson and a pro-Palestinian demonstration. The Metropolitan Police has made two arrests at Euston Station of two people who had arrived for the Unite the Kingdom protest over an unrelated incident in Birmingham. A woman has also been arrested after she appeared to refuse to remove a fabric face mask that she was wearing at the pro-Palestine protest forming up in South Kensington. 4,000 officers are being deployed as the Met Police hopes to avoid clashes. Police have described it as an unprecedented security operation. Also today, Chelsea and Manchester City are due to clash in the FA Cup final, that kicking off at 3 o'clock, leaving police concerned that some football fans could go straight from the game to the rallies. The Met has confirmed they will arrest individuals who incite hatred. Elsewhere, the Prime Minister braces for battle as the road to Parliament is cleared for Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makerfield by-election, reported to take place in June. It comes as current MP Josh Simons announced he would quit Parliament to make way for Mr Burnham. In his fight back, the Prime Minister is expected to announce an £18 billion boost to defence. That's as the Keir Starmer said to be ready to stand down for Andy Burnham if he makes a return to Parliament. An Israeli airstrike on a town in southern Lebanon has killed 6 people, including 3 paramedics, according to Lebanon's health ministry. It comes as the US said 2 countries had agreed to a 40-day ceasefire. The health ministry said a 4th paramedic had sustained critical injuries after a civil defence centre was attacked in the town of Haruf. On Friday, the US State Department announced Israel and Lebanon had agreed to extend their shaky ceasefire after 2 days of negotiations. Donald Trump announced the truce on the 16th of April, but Israel and Hezbollah have continued to exchange fire since then. In other news, a charity has called for a wider rollout of meningitis vaccines after a teenager in Oxfordshire died after contracting the disease. Lewis Waters, a 6th form pupil at the Henley College, died earlier this week. 2 pupils, one from Reading Blue Coat School and another from Highdown Secondary School and 6th form centre in Reading, are also being treated for meningitis. The Department of Health and Social Care said the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation is reviewing eligibility for routine meningitis B vaccination. In Scotland, it's winner-takes-all at Parkhead as Celtic host Hearts with the SPFL title up for grab. That game has kicked off. It's currently goalless. If Hearts win, it would mark the first time for 66 years that they've taken the trophy. An earlier match between Celtic and Motherwell stirred up controversy over a penalty disputed by fans. Police Scotland said a 19-year-old man's been arrested and charged after referee John Beaton had his personal details leaked in the wake of the penalty. The Scottish FA said this ahead of today's game. Attempts to compromise the safety of match officials, such vigilantism motivated by decisions perceived to be right or wrong on a field of play, is a scourge on our national game, and we are grateful to Police Scotland for their swift intervention. And the Eurovision Song Contest reaches its grand final this evening, with Finland, Greece and Australia among the favourites to win. Well, let's have a listen to the UK's entry this year by Look Mum No Computer. And those are the latest GB News headlines for now. More in half an hour. It's back to Dawn.
Tune in to GB News Radio wherever you are. Online, on DAB digital radio, on TuneIn, on Radio Player, on Nation Player and on your smart speaker. Just say, play GB News.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. Although, Tatiana, if you insist on playing that music at the end of every bulletin, I might just have to kill you. And there's going to be more of it to come later on today, isn't there? It's catchy, I think, is the politest thing you can say about it. Any case, please do keep those messages coming in. Lots of you are getting in touch. Alan says it's beautiful to see so many different flags coming together on the Unite the Kingdom march. All different colours, one nation. Definitely makes you proud to be English. So keep them coming in at gbnews.com/your say. OK, London is gearing up, as we know, for the huge day of protest, with tens of thousands expected at the two rival demonstrations. The Met says today it could be one of the busiest operations in years, with facial recognition cameras, drones and mounted officers all being deployed. Heavy restrictions have been put in place in a bid to keep the United Kingdom and the pro-Palestine Nakba rallies separate. GB News social reporter, what am I saying? GB News national reporter even, that's social and national mixed up, Sophie Reaper joins us from central London. She's at the pro-Palestine Nakba Day rally. Sophie, how are you and how's it going?
I'm absolutely fine, Dawn. Used to it at this point. We're on the move here, making our way into central London, and we're being advised that it's at least tens of thousands of people in this crowd here behind me, making their way into central London. And today it's all about this pro-Palestine protest here. It's Nakba 78, which is marking the ethnic cleansing of Palestine 78 years ago. That's why some people are here today, but of course other people protesting what's happening in Palestine, protesting against the Tommy Robinson protest, which Doogie Beattie is at for us, that Unite the Kingdom protest. We've seen signs today that there's blood on the hands of Sir Keir Starmer, that no to Farage, no to Robinson, no to Donald Trump, no to fascism. We're seeing all sorts of signs like that. We've also seen signs and heard chants of sorry, I'm just checking behind me, Dawn. We're OK. We don't know what's happening. It seems that half have been stopped and half have been able to carry on. I'll carry on, though. We've heard chants and seen signage of from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, which, as we know, is often considered a very controversial statement to make. But as you know, earlier we tried to speak to people here, give them the opportunity to tell us why they're here today, because that is the whole point of our channel, of GB News, is giving people, no matter what your beliefs, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, the opportunity to speak out. And that's all we've been trying to do today. We're grateful to that man who did speak to us, who set out his point very well, very articulately. But for the other people who do not like the channel so much, that one chap who said, I was here to twist things, that's simply not the case. We are here to report the facts, we're here to show what's happening and to give them the opportunity to tell us why they're protesting and why they're marching here in central London today.
Indeed, and you're doing a sterling job, and we will be coming back to Sophie throughout the day as that march, as you can see on your screens now, progresses through London. And as I said, it did get very aggressive towards Sophie. We are looking after her, we have got security there with her, but It shouldn't be like that, should it? I just want to read that someone has just sent me, someone who's at the Nakba march, who has sent me in a picture. I can't read it out. It's one of the banners that are there. This is the kind of thing that Keir Starmer said would be clamped down on and arrested straight away as he fights for the soul of this country. I'll paraphrase what this sign says. It basically says, hang every Jew, and then some words that I can't repeat. That is a sign being carried on the Nakba march. Now, look, I'm not saying everything is rosy on the Unite the Kingdom march as well, but we will be going back to Doogie very soon, by the way. But from what we're seeing at the moment, it's a much more relaxed march. I haven't seen any offensive signs, nor have I heard any chants for global acts of terrorism from the river to the sea. If you're Jewish, that is deeply, deeply offensive. In any case, let's go to that march now and join Doogie Beattie, who is live for us there. Doogie, how's it going?
Well, what an atmosphere here at the United Kingdom March. There are now thousands and thousands of people making their way into the centre of London. Ironically, we're not that far away from Sophie in that other march is taking place here at this time. And because of that, there is huge security at the start of this march and on the streets left and right of it. But there are thousands and thousands of people joining this parade as it's made its way down from the Kingsway Road and straight down into where we are now, heading for Parliament Square. So really, it is people from all over the Union, right across the Union. We'll see if we can catch anybody that we can talk to. Steve, if you can just... how are you? Why are you here?
Where are you? Oh, I don't want to do that. Thank you. Protect our country.
Protect our borders, protect our country. That's one. What about... There's a man here with a child in his shoulder. How are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. You?
All good. I see you brought your child with you.
I have, mate, I have.
Is it a day to remember?
It will be, mate, hopefully.
You've obviously travelled from Liverpool?
I travelled from Birkenhead, the Wirral. Yeah.
Okay, good to see you, sir.
Nice one, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's another girl here. Yeah. Oh, I'm not too sure what that is. Not too sure.
Going to the game after.
Oh, you're for the cup final?
Yes.
Oh, and you took time.
I'm Norwegian. And supporting United Kingdom. Tommy Robinson is right. Has always been right, in the right sense.
Well, you've obviously come from Europe to be here. What's the feeling like in Europe about this?
The media is like the English media, very against it. Talk about him as a racist, but he's not.
Okay. Not a problem. Yeah. We also spoke to people just before this actually started off, and here's what they had to say.
We're here to try and get the government to listen to the people, because that's all we want. That's all we want. We want people to listen to the people. That's what they voted for. And we wouldn't be here if they listened. Easy. Job done. Finished.
Just sick and tired of the government, really. They're just trying to stop everything we do. We can't go to this, we can't do that, you can't do this. It's just endless things that the government wanting to stop you doing. It's just freedom of speech, mainly.
Christian people are being attacked left, right and centre for their own faith. So our own speakers on the street are getting arrested, put in prison. My own friend just over there, Steve, he'll be speaking today. He was arrested just a couple of weeks ago on the street for speaking the truth. You know, it's just not on, it can't be.
Well, you can hear from the people, it's obvious frustration, Dawn. They want to be heard. They're here in their thousands to be heard, and they want to know, are the government going to listen, or are they continuing to, what they say is insult them?
Doogie, thank you so much. It looks like you don't need security there, that's for sure. Doogie Beattie alive on the Unite the Kingdom march, and we will be going back to Doogie throughout the day as the march progresses. And obviously these marches, when they get to their finale, they are quite close together. And the Nakba one is actually going past one of the big synagogues in London as well. How they let that route happen, I have no idea. Now, you will hear, when we talk to people on these marches, you might hear some fruity language. Apologise for that straight away, obviously. We can't help what crowds are saying. And also varied opinions. These are these people's opinions. This is what, as you heard Sophie Rupert say, this is what GB News is about. It's about people's opinions from both sides, and we are keen to portray both sides in that. So Disagree? Agree. We're here to have that debate. Just want to read one message out, though, because lots of people are saying this, and I do think it's quite important. This is from someone called Hybrid Duality, which is an interesting name, Mr. Duality, or Mrs. Duality. Can you please say that Tommy Robinson, who that lady was discussing there, he put out a video, Keir Starmer put out a video as well, remember, asking anyone going to the march not to wear a mask, not to drink, and to be peaceful. And that running aside Keir Starmer's video, which was more, I think, encouraging more people to be more divided, makes a lot of sense. So I have read that out. So, yes, I am going to read them out because GB News is about everybody's opinion and we are trying to be fair. So let us know, gbnews.com/you'll say. You know the drill. OK, it is now 17 minutes past 1 and we're going to move away slightly because we're going to give some stuff away. Yeah, it's time for the Great British Giveaway and your chance to have a spectacular summer this year as you could win that £76,543 and 21 pence in tax-free cash. Going to be a cracking summer if you get it, isn't it? Well, here's how you do it.
There's a totally tax-free £76,543 and 21 pence in cash to be won. Cash to spend on anything you like. That's like having over £6,000 extra to spend each month for a whole year. You could spend it on a bucket list holiday, treats for all of the family, or just save it for a rainy day. Just make sure you don't miss your chance to win £76,543 and 21 pence. For a chance to win £76,543 and 21 pence in tax-free cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB21 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 26th of June. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pulled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Good luck indeed, because you are very lovely people. You do know that, don't you? Lots of you are concerned about our Sophie, who's on the Nakba rally, and the fact that they got a bit aggressive towards her. She's a very, very good reporter, a very strong girl. She knows exactly what she's doing. So, and we have got someone with her as well, but maybe we should have sent Doogie there and swap them over. Anyway, thank you so much for your lovely comments. Yeah, we are looking after Sophie. She's safe and well, don't worry. And we'll be going back to her very soon, so you don't want to go anywhere either. I'm Dawn Neeson, this is GB News. There's lots more coming up on today's show. The Prime Minister, yes, we have to talk about them again. Oh, God. See, we've got Andy Burnham's picture on screen now, but they've cropped the shorts off for me. Thanks, boys. I really appreciate that. In any case, the Prime Minister is braced for battle as the road to Parliament is cleared for Andy Burnham in his shorts. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand, or run, if you want, in the Makerfield by-election, reporting to take place in June now. All of that and much more to come. This is GB News, Britain's news channel. I'll see you very, very soon.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
From court mornings
to warm family brunches,
from football to tennis, in the car,
in the kitchen,
GB News Breakfast is there. With the stories you need and the conversations that matter.
Anyway, let's talk business.
Well, it has been a historic night in British politics.
It's astonishing, isn't it?
We're here again to start your day just right. GB News Breakfast.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on GB News.
Britain's news channel.
Westminster, the ultimate clique.
And you're fighting like rats in a sack.
But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask.
OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician.
Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as
I and now you've lost it.
That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
Needs to stop. You think we can allow?
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Breaking news, live updates, stories that matter.
From the heart of the GB newsroom to every corner of Britain,
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
GB News bulletins are there to deliver the latest news that matters to you.
bulletins on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hello, welcome back to The Weekend with me, Dawn Neeson. Keep those comments coming. I've never had such a busy message board. It's spinning around so fast, I can't really keep up, but do keep them coming in at gbnews.com/yoursay. Now, the other top story of the day, we move away from the marches very quickly. We will be going back to them. We'll be showing you the scenes on your screen while we're talking about the politics. The Prime Minister has braced for battle again as the road to Parliament is clear for Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makerfield by-election reported to take place in June. So let's speak now to GB News political correspondent who's already hosted her own show today, Olivia. Any the wiser from the last time I spoke to you?
Well, we're still in this unbelievable state of flux, really. No one knows quite what's going to happen yet. Keir Starmer is holed up in Chequers this weekend, thinking about his own future. Is he going to stand in a by-election, in a leadership election against Andy Burnham, if it does come to that? Then you've got Wes Streeting. Wes Streeting is making a speech at 3 o'clock in London for the first time since he stood down as Health Secretary. I'm going to be at that speech, so we'll find out more then.
Is
he going to launch a leadership bid himself? Then, of course, you've got the question of can Andy Burnham win Makerfield? There is an interesting new development on this, which is that Rupert Lowe's party, Restore Britain, has said that it is going to stand a candidate in Makerfield. Now, that could have the effect of splitting the right-wing vote. Rupert Lowe did very well in the local elections in Great Yarmouth. He's the MP for Great Yarmouth. He had a falling out with the Reform Party last year, elected as a Reform MP, then went on to start his own party, Restore Britain. Last week in the local elections, he stood 9 candidates under the Great Yarmouth First umbrella name, and those 9 candidates won every single seat they contested. So Rupert Lowe is a bit of a force to be reckoned with. I don't think there's much of a thought that his party could actually win this by-election, but it could end up splitting the Reform vote, which could be very helpful indeed for Andy Burnham, because this is a really Reform-facing seat. This is a target area for Reform, and it is going to be a very tough battle for Andy Burnham. You can bet your bottom dollar that Reform are going to throw the kitchen sink at this by-election, because it really is. It could decide, you know, the future of the Labour Party. It could decide who our Prime Minister is.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, in this country, don't we vote for a party rather than the king, the head, like a president? It's not a president. We vote for a party. And yet we're talking a lot about Andy Burnham like that's what this is. We're electing, well, the people of Makerfield, good luck people, are electing the new Prime Minister of this country.
Well, exactly.
It's weird.
It is a bit of a weird situation. And I wonder how much damage it will do Andy Burnham, the fact that he said that he was going to stand for his whole term as Manchester Mayor, and he's reneging on that promise to run for Westminster in the hope of being Prime Minister. Sophie Rupert, I was talking to earlier today, she was in Makerfield yesterday talking to people, and she said that lots of the people who she spoke to said that they wouldn't be voting for Andy Burnham because they thought he would just immediately show no interest in Makerfield at all and immediately want to run as Prime Minister and have a whole different set of concerns. So there is a possibility that this sort of master plan of Andy Burnham's could end up backfiring backfiring on him for the very reasons that you're suggesting there.
Interesting, because when Reform stood in the Makerfield candidate, the candidate last time in 2024 was Robert Kenyon, who came second, and it was an 18.7% swing to a Reform, wasn't it? Now, he's like a proper bloke, isn't he? You know, we have a lot of plumbers being elected to Parliament at the moment. We've got the Green one, haven't we? But, you know, he's served in the British Army, worked for 6 years in the NHS. He's local and works as a plumber.
Well, exactly.
And he did really well.
So we don't know who Reform is going to stand against Andy Burnham. A few sort of big-name celebrities, Maggie Oliver, for example, who chaired the Grooming Review, has said that she will not be standing. How are Reform going to play this? Are they going to choose some sort of celebrity candidate with a big national profile, or are they going to make it hyper-local and focus on the Makerfield area? Now, the people I've been talking to in Reform sound minded to do the latter, because this competition is going to be so much about Andy Burnham and his tilt for Westminster. There might be some ground to be gained for Reform by saying, look, this candidate, if it is Rob Kenyon, won't be interested in running as Prime Minister. This is someone who's going to be focused on Makerfield and what's best for Makerfield. So again, there are so many ways that this could end up really, really backfiring on Andy Burnham. But I think he will be rejoicing at the news this morning that Restore Britain is going to stand, because that does stand a big chance of splitting that vote. I think it's quite interesting that Andy Burnham has claimed that he wants to be standing in a seat which is such a pro-reform, reform-facing seat, because he thinks that it's going to be a proof-of-concept election. If he can win there, he can win anywhere. Don't really know if that's true. The people I've been speaking to have suggested that actually Andy Burnham approached quite a few people before he went to Josh Simons of Makerfield. I mean, the next few weeks are going to be so interesting. I expect to read and hear a lot about the 76,000 voters in Makerfield.
Exactly. Yeah, good luck, people. And thank you very much, Olivia Utley, for that update. And now we are looking at live scenes on the Unite the Kingdom march. And there was a sign there that said, get them out, which is a controversial sign. So we just thought we'd point out that these are people's opinions on the march. They are, you know, we're trying to represent everybody's views here. Talking of which, I just want to read a few of your messages out. Lots of you still sending love to our Sophie, who's reporting from the Nakba branch. Shelley says, sending love and strength to our Sophie. Keep safe, girly. And lots of people saying, I do like Doogie. Have a great day, but you should have swapped them round. And lots of people saying, we are basically doomed. And where was this one? This was a lovely message from a lady that was on the... Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Sarah says, hi, Dawn. I was at the march last year, and it was fantastic. I'm a mum of 3, and my hubby and I took our 2 daughters along, promising we'd leave at the very first sign of trouble. Needless to say, we were there all day. The atmosphere was amazing. People of all ages, all colours and all backgrounds marching together. I didn't witness any racism. So lots of people getting in touch. So please do, and I will read as many out as I possibly can at gbnews.com/yoursay, or scan the QR code on your screen. I'm Dawn Neeson, this is GB News. And there's lots more coming up on today's show. But first, it's time already. I'm late. I'm sorry for your news headlines with Tatiana Sanchez.
Tens of thousands of protesters have descended on London for 2 rival marches, the Unite the Kingdom rally, organised by Tommy Robinson, and a pro-Palestinian demonstration. The Met Police made 2 arrests at Euston Station of 2 people who'd arrived for the Unite the Kingdom protest over an unrelated incident in Birmingham. Well, a total of 11 arrests have now been made so far for a variety of offences. Police have described it as an unprecedented security operation. The Prime Minister braces for battle as the road to Parliament is cleared for Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC's, given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makerfield by-election, reported to take place in June. It comes as current MP Josh Simons announced he would quit Parliament to make way for Mr Burnham. And the King was greatly shocked and saddened to have learned of the death of a soldier at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, a Buckingham Palace spokesperson has said, adding King Charles will be in touch with the family to share his personal condolences. Those are the latest headlines. For now, more at the top of the hour.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. Just a quick bit of breaking news for you. 11 people have been arrested for a variety of offences at the Unite the Kingdom and the Nakba Day protests in London, and that was as of a few minutes ago now. So we'll bring you any more breaking news we have on that story. And as I said, let me know your thoughts, because today really is about you. I really want to know, especially if you're on the march last year, if you're on this one. Remember, you can listen on the radio as well. We're on your phones or your laptops or whatever you've got with you. Whatever march you're on, I'm really, really keen to hear why you're there, what it means to you. gbnews.com/your say and join in that conversation. There is lots more coming up on today's show.
The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are peddling hatred and division.
Starmer's warning clearly didn't work. They did it because tens of thousands of people are attending the Unite the Kingdom rally in central London today, as the government intervened and blocked 11 speakers, including 2 politicians, from entering the UK for the event. All of that and much more to come. I'm Dawn Neeson. This is GB News. Don't go anywhere. See you soon.
Hello there, welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office, and we'll see increasing amounts of cloud moving in from the west through today, limiting the amount of sunshine to eastern areas, and there will be some patchy rain as well. It's this weather front that is slowly pushing its way eastward today, introducing that cloud and patchy rain. But brightness holding on across eastern areas, though becoming increasingly limited later on in the afternoon, with patchy rain pushing its way eastwards across most parts. The rain could turn heavy at times across parts of Northern Ireland into Wales later on today, with some showers starting to follow. But many eastern areas along the coast there staying dry, with temperatures in any sunshine reaching 15 or 16 Celsius as the winds start to turn more westerly. We start to lose that cold northerly breeze that we've had in recent days. This evening time, the band of rain across western Scotland will continue to slowly push north and eastward, so a dry evening to come across northern and eastern parts here. Temperatures around 10 or 11 Celsius. Showers across Northern Ireland, some glimmers of sunshine, but a wet evening to come across much of England and Wales. Patchy rain, 1 or 2 heavier bursts possible in the west, and that's slowly pushing eastwards later on. Overnight, the band of rain continues to push across the country, with clearer spells and showers following on behind. Some of these showers could be heavy for Northern Ireland, some gusty winds developing too. And under the clearer spells, temperatures will drop away overnight, but not as low as recent nights. We saw -5 in Scotland last night. We're looking more likely 6 or 7 degrees under the cloud and rain. But it does mean a cloudy, damp start to the day on Sunday across Scotland, showers across Northern Ireland. England and Wales are generally a bright start with sunny spells, and that continues through the day, but those showers moving in as we go into the afternoon. Some of them will be heavy at times, a risk of hail and thunder. Best of the sunshine in the east, and highs of 16 to 17 Celsius, so a little warmer.
Join me, Nana Akweer, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in, Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
Because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christie's tonight, Late Edition.
Alex Armstrong tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Hello, welcome back to the weekend with me, Dawn Neeson, and blimey, what a day it is. Thank you for your company. London is gearing up for that huge day of protest, with tens of thousands expected at the 2 rival demonstrations currently taking place as we speak. The Met says today could be one of the busiest operations in years, with facial recognition cameras, drones and mounted officers all being deployed. Heavy restrictions have been put in place in a bid to keep the Unite the Kingdom and the pro-Palestine Nakba Day rallies separate. Joining us now is Iranian human rights activist Lily Moo, who is going straight to the Unite the Kingdom march after. I'd be surprised if she went on the other one. But Lily, before we start to, I just want to read, this is a bit of breaking news from the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, who has put out this morning, one city, 9 million people, all of us Londoners, we will never be divided. Hate is loud, love is louder. Would you like to respond to Sadiq Khan?
I would like to say our dear Mayor, who is knighted, so therefore Sir Sadiq Khan, our love indeed is louder than all the hate that is trying to shut us down. We do love our United Kingdom. That is why Unite the Kingdom rally is taking place in London, the capital city of United Kingdom. There is a reason why people are not wearing masks and are making sure that the facial recognition system that is in place is making sure that every single face who loves Britain is registered and is known as those who do love this country. Somehow our safety and our security is a joke to so many politicians these days. Somehow promises such as putting the IRGC in the list earlier this week was just another foreplay for the Prime Minister or his party, I mean Sadiq Khan, to stay in place in a good book. But in action, when United Kingdom gathers its British patriots who love this country and want to see this country succeed, and also this country welcomed me. I am a foreigner, don't forget. I am British by choice, by pledging allegiance to the royal family, to the crown, and to this country, not to the political parties that run it. And therefore, I, as a British Iranian who has been calling out for the safety of United Kingdom, and British people who have been my allies and have welcomed me and my family and my fellow Iranian dissidents into this land, to all join into this march, to be a part of those who want to say safety first and virtue signaling next.
Lily, you're going on the march later.
Yes.
Why are you going on the march?
Well, technically speaking, I can't go to the march because I had a surgery on my foot, but I'm going to Parliament Square later to say hello to most of the people who are attending. Also because as an Iranian who has been given safety and sanctuary in United Kingdom, while other countries in Europe were available too, but we didn't know about that at the time when we fled to the UK. And we knew that the one country that had welcomed our king and our queen in the 60s were going to be our hosts and safety. But we had no idea IRGC and their allies have also set foot here and have set their sight to the future of the UK. So as I grew up in this country with the safety that I had been privileged to, I decided that I have to fight for the safety of this country just as much as I fight for the regime change in Iran. And that is why I'm going to this march, because people need to understand that even if you are British, somehow you have become secondary in this country when it comes to virtue signaling. British value has become secondary to virtue signaling. And British value has become the plate to actually serve that dish of virtue signaling by being so inclusive and so caring and so loving. I always say this, I've said it for years, we cannot hug terrorism out of a suicide bomber, but they are here and they've already attempted and they've already taken action. So the march of United Kingdom and Unite the Kingdom, so that this country keeps its sovereignty, so that this country keeps its identity and its values, who people have died for. Look at the marches leading to Whitehall and then Parliament Square, where Sir Winston Churchill's statue is standing. Before they reach that statue, they have to pass the women and men of the war, those who gave their lives so that we would not be Nazified. And now here today, in 2026, we have people who are gladly repeating Nazi propaganda with Islamism and calling it progressive behavior. There is nothing progressive about wanting women dead, castrating men, and giving up values of freedom so that you can be inclusive.
Lily, I mean, for people listening on the radio, they won't know this, but people watching on TV, you are wearing a Star of David around your neck at the moment.
I am, right next to a farvahar, which is the Iranian, Persian, Zoroastrian religious sign also.
You're going out into central London today. The Nakba March is underway, obviously. How safe will you feel walking through the streets of London with the Star of David on your neck?
I haven't been safe in the streets of London since 2022. From the moment you say no to Islamist extremism in the UK, it doesn't matter who you are targeting, people, their antennas suddenly rise.
You've had death threats.
And I've had death threats, over death threats. I mean, over the past 4 months alone, the death threats have not only have not stopped, they have multiplied. And people seem to really take it for granted, the fact that every time I step out of my house, I could simply just get killed. And
in London?
In London. In London, in a city where women are to be free, people are to have freedom to speak. Only for speaking, only for calling out the atrocities of a regime that removes the uterus of women who... Nurses who tended the wounded in January in Tehran were gang raped and they had their wombs removed.
These are accusations made against the Iranian regime.
Yes, and then we have NHS staff currently today in the Nakba March. That is disrespectful. That is disrespectful to the people of Iran who have given their lives for freedom. It is disrespectful to the Jewish community who are British. When we say British Jews, we are not talking of the other. We are talking of British people who practice Jewish religion, and there is no other. So this othering of the Jew is already anti-Semitic. Why should there be such heavy, outrageous hate and normalized systemic terrorism against the Jewish community in the UK, while the attack on the British girls goes brushed under the carpet as if there is nothing of a matter when British girls are attacked by men who are of lowly wealth. However, if it was an Epstein file, we would have a whole scandal on our hands.
Do you think every time we see a pro-Palestinian march, or the Nakba March only takes place once a year, but every time we see a pro-Palestinian march take place on the streets of London, there's a rise in anti-Semitic hate crimes in London?
Yes.
Do you think the situation is getting worse? Do you think that London is getting more dangerous for people like yourself who are protesting against the Iranian regime, and for Jewish people? Do you think it's getting worse?
London has never been more dangerous than it is today. In the modern day, during the time when we have, as we see every day, pronounced to us by the legal authorities that facial recognition is on the streets of London, yet people who harm the Iranian dissidents or the Jewish community are nowhere to be seen, or somehow only 1 in 10 or 1 in 100 will get arrested. I myself was attacked, physically attacked, and my property was destroyed at one of these so-called Palestinian marches where Hamas was being praised. I was arrested. I served 12 hours in custody with a disabled body, with pain after having been beaten up by so-called peaceful protesters. So no, they were covering their faces mostly. They beat me up. But the people who are in Whitehall today, the people who are marching through London, not only they are not just white people, they are all British of all backgrounds. I have become British by allegiance, by choice. Most of the people who are there, either their parents have become British by choice, or they have been born British because their parents made sure that's the way.
Lily, thank you so much. Incredibly passionate words, and I can hear the anger in your voice as well as the fear in your voice about what the country you've adopted is becoming. Lily Moo, thank you so much. Very, very strong, powerful opinion, strong words. But Lily, as she's just said, has been facing death threats in London simply for talking out about the Iranian regime and sort of like what is going on with the Jewish community in this London. Let me know what you think. I mean, we've got a Prime Minister talking about we're facing a battle for the nation's soul. Well, I think Lily Moo, an Iranian by birth, she's summed up what our soul should be about. I'm Dawn Neeson, this is GB News. Lots more coming up on today's show. But if you are in search of some holiday sun, it's a gear change here, isn't it, and a half, at 1:45. Here's the forecast for those top European destinations for you.
Ready to soak up that holiday sunshine?
Won't we need some cover?
No worries, all sorted.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
The weather across southern Europe is looking fairly mixed tomorrow. We do have high pressure out in the Atlantic just to the west of Iberia, and that's bringing generally settled conditions across much of Spain and Portugal. Not totally dry though, a few outbreaks of rain, particularly towards the north, and there are some outbreaks of rain further east, particularly around parts of Croatia and Greece, and some of this could be heavy at times. But the fine weather looks to be more dominant as we go into next week. Bye-bye.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
I've been in Westminster for a long time, but I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
Now, we're joined now by a father and son duo who have taken on an extraordinary 18,000-mile challenge.
Wow, yes. George and Joshua have cycled through 31 countries across 4 continents to raise money for UNICEF.
Well, they set off over a year ago, and the pair have taken on some of the toughest terrain on Earth across countries including Turkey, China, Vietnam and Argentina.
Well, we're thrilled to be joined by George and Josh Kohler this morning. George, Josh, thanks for joining us. Well, I mean, I have to say, first question we have to you is, what was the toughest day you had on this trip, and how have you found the response?
Good morning. I think for us the toughest day was going over the pass in Kyrgyzstan. 2 days of uphill climbing, pushing the bikes through dirt roads in searing heat, getting to the top and looking forward to a nice downhill at 3,500 metres, only to find it was even worse going downhill. So that kind of hit morale a little bit, made even worse by Joshua getting attacked by bees at the end of the road. So it was all a bit emotional, but we got through it, got our heads down and then reset, and off we went the next day.
Where do you stay? I mean, have you got like a tent in the backpack or on the bike or something, and then, or do you plan every hotel you go to? Is everything very carefully planned out?
It's a complete mixture of where we stay. We carry a tent, so we've spent a lot of time camping out, wild camping. We've stayed in campsites, hotels, with people have hosted, just welcomed us into their homes with open arms. We've stayed in a whole complete range of accommodation over the last 400 days.
GB News, the People's Channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Hello, welcome back to the weekend with me, Dawn Neeson. Thank you so much for your comment. I can't. The messages coming in for Lily Moo, who we were talking to just now, are quite astonishing. I'll read as many out as I possibly can. But we are going to have a little bit of a change of pace now. We will be covering the United Kingdom march. You will see the pictures on your screen, and we will be going straight back to it. But a little bit of a change of pace because we do need to lighten the mood sometimes. Yeah, it's the grand final of the Eurovision Song Contest tonight. So let's have a quick listen to the UK's #1 entry this year. OK, that's Eins, zwei, drei, which is German by the English competitor, by Look Mum, No Computer. I think the best thing I can say is it's quite catchy, isn't it? But I don't know why I'm asking this question. It's entirely rhetorical. How are we going to do this year? 1981's Eurovision Song Contest winner, the wonderful Jay Aston, joins us now. Jay, good to see you. Thank you so much. Oh, you look amazing. You look gorgeous. Jay, what do you make of our entry this year?
I think it's kind of like Marmite. You either love or hate it. We're doing a cruise ship tonight. We did an 80s event last night, and we're actually in Amsterdam. And on the cruise is a Eurovision-themed event. So we're singing all the hits. Wow. And at the end of the medley, we do that song. And let me tell you, it's a tongue twister to remember. So, yes, it literally is people either love or hate it. I mean, it's different. It's definitely outside of the box.
Yeah, I mean...
And how it'll go on the night, you know, it really... We'll see how that one... Whether we're on the left-hand side of the leaderboard or we're sinking to the bottom of the right.
I mean, Jay, obviously, when you won back in 1981, the competition wasn't as political as it is now. So we could probably enter, you know, the Rolling Stones backed up by Paul McCartney and we'd still get 0 points. It has become a lot more political, hasn't it?
It has, and it's a shame because it was put together, I think, literally after the war, which was meant to bring people together to listen to music. And I like to think that the soul of Eurovision is actually about love and bringing people together rather than the animosity and trying to make it something that politics can hijack. Sorry, there's a lot of vehicles going in front of me. So, yeah, no, I'm passionate about keeping Eurovision alive. I think it's an important thing. I'm here in Amsterdam. There's a lovely buzz, and it'll be a great show, you know. So it's our 45th anniversary this year. Wow. So we've had a good ride out of it. We've just done a new single with Mike Stock, which is coming out in a couple of weeks. So with our 2 new members of the band. So we're still, you know, there's still life in the old fizz yet.
Oh, brilliant. Good for you. Fizz. Jay, I think unfortunately, I think we're losing your connection there, Jay, but thank you so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful time tonight. I wish I was there, actually. It sounds like it's going to be great fun. OK, that was our Eurovision Song Contest winner, Jay Aston from Bucks Fizz. Making your mind up, remember? That was 1981. And they're still going strong on a cruise ship. That sounds fabulous, doesn't it? OK, I'm Dawn Neeson. This is indeed GB News, and there's lots more coming up on today's show. Armoured vehicles, police horses, dogs, drones, helicopters, along with 4,000 police officers deployed by the Metropolitan Police, hoping to keep those 2 marches apart. That's the Unite the Kingdom protest and the pro-Palestine Nakba march. But first, that's all coming up. We're going straight back there live, so don't go too far. All of that coming up after your weather.
Today, clouds overhead, total zen within. Boxed Solar sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office, and we'll see increasing amounts of cloud moving in from the west through today, limiting the amount of sunshine to eastern areas, and there will be some patchy rain as well. It's this weather front that is slowly pushing its way eastward today, introducing that cloud and patchy rain. But brightness holding on across eastern areas, though becoming increasingly limited later on in the afternoon, with patchy rain pushing its way eastwards across most parts. The rain could turn turn heavy at times across parts of Northern Ireland into Wales later on today, with some showers starting to follow. But many eastern areas along the coast there staying dry, with temperatures in any sunshine reaching 15 or 16 Celsius. As the winds start to turn more westerly, we start to lose that cold northerly breeze that we've had in recent days. This evening time, the band of rain across western Scotland will continue to slowly push north and eastward, so a dry evening to come across northern and eastern parts here. Temperatures around 10 or 11 Celsius. Showers across Northern Ireland, some glimmers of sunshine, but a wet evening to come across much of England and Wales. Patchy rain, 1 or 2 heavier bursts possible in the west, and that's slowly pushing eastwards later on. Overnight, the band of rain continues to push across the country, with clearer spells and showers following on behind. Some of these showers could be heavy for Northern Ireland, some gusty winds developing too. And under the clearer spells, temperatures will drop away overnight, but not as low as recent nights. We saw -5 in Scotland last night. We're looking more likely 6 or 7 degrees under the cloud and rain. But it does mean a cloudy, damp start to the day on Sunday across Scotland. Showers across Northern Ireland. England and Wales are generally a bright start with sunny spells, and that continues through the day, but those showers moving in as we go into the afternoon. Some of them will be heavy at times, a risk of hail and thunder. Best of the sunshine in the east, and highs of 16 to 17 Celsius, so a little warmer.
Today, clouds overhead. Total zen within. Box Solar sponsors the weather on GB News.
There's a totally tax-free £76,543.21 in cash to be won. Cash to spend on anything you like. That's like having over £6,000 extra to spend each month for a whole year. You could spend it on a bucket list holiday, treats for all of the family, or just save it for a rainy day. For a chance to win, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB21 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 26th of June. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pulled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray. Are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline.
Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What we're going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
no,
isn't it?
because
the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff.
Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood.
So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Good afternoon, it's 2 o'clock on Saturday the 16th of May. This is the weekend on GB News, and we've got a seismic final hour coming up for you. Tens of thousands of people are at the Unite the Kingdom rally in central London today. That's as the government intervened and blocked 11 speakers, including democratically elected politicians, from entering the UK for the event. Oh, OK. I said OK because we're meant to be on Hedgehog. But the annual pro-Palestine Nakba Day rally is also marching through the capital too, protesting the displacement of Palestinians during the founding of Israel. Armoured vehicles, police horses, dogs, drones, helicopters, and along with 4,000 police officers have been deployed as the Met Police hope to avoid clashes between these two mammoth protests. Public Order Act conditions are being imposed on both marches, and live facial recognition will be used as part of the protest policing operation for the first time in many years. And we're also talking about politics. The Prime Minister braces for battle as the road to Parliament is clear for Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makefield by-election, reported to take place in June. Meanwhile, Wes Streeting, who left government this week, just in case you've been living under a rock, is set to make his first speech today since resigning as Health Secretary. Could he be about to launch that leadership battle this afternoon, though? I'm Dawn Neeson. This is Weekend. So loads of you have been getting in touch, and my favourite part of every single show is talking to you. But so many are getting in touch today over the Unite the Kingdom march that I'm having trouble keeping up. However, Stu, hello Stu, how are you? Stu, I've got to read yours out. It's not to do with the marches, it's to do with Eurovision. And you say, Dawn, please stop saying that bleep, can't say that word, song. If I wanted some nut speaking German in my ear, I would have voted Remain. I'm sorry, that made me laugh out loud. So you can have some fun on the messages as well, or you can be serious. Lots of you getting in touch about Lily Moo, who we are into. She's an Iranian by birth. She has become a British citizen, talking about why she is going on the Unite the Kingdom march today. And Lily Moo is always passionate about what she's talking about. She's faced death threats for talking out about with the Iranian regime and what Jews are facing in this country. She's not Jewish, by the way. And, you know, when you've got the Prime Minister saying we are facing a battle for the nation's soul, well, I think Lily Moo gave a very, very passionate speech that actually depicted what the nation's soul is about. And it's not about what Keir Starmer thinks our soul is, because he thinks most of the people on that Unite the Kingdom march are racist thugs. Those were the words he used. In any case, I'm Dawn Neeson, and this is The Weekend. And please do get in touch, gbnews.com/yoursay, or scan that QR code. You can have some fun with Eurovision. We won't play it anymore, I promise. I mean, Tatiana is now on a 3-line whip not to play that in her news by looking across the studio in her news bulletins. But get in touch, and if you want to talk about Unite the Kingdom, we're here for you as well, reading as many out as possible. But let's go to Tatiana now. Tatiana, don't you dare.
I wouldn't dare, Dawn. I've been banned from playing it. Anyway, the top story today, the Met Police says 11 people have been arrested for a variety of offences at the Unite the Kingdom and pro-Palestine Nakba Day protests in London. Tens of thousands of protesters have descended for those two marches. The Met Police earlier made 2 arrests at Euston Station, one of 2 people who'd arrived for the Unite the Kingdom protest over an unrelated incident in Birmingham. A woman has also been arrested after she appeared to refuse to remove a fabric face mask she was wearing at a pro-Palestine protest. Police have described it as an unprecedented security operation. Also today, Chelsea and Manchester City, they're due to clash in the FA Cup final, leaving police concerned that some football fans could go straight from the game to the rallies. In other news, the Prime Minister braces for battle as the road to Parliament is cleared for Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makerfield by-election, reported to take place in June. It comes as current MP Josh Simons announced he would quit Parliament to make way for Mr Burnham. In his fight back, the Prime Minister is expected to announce an £18 billion boost to defence. That's as Sir Keir Starmer said to be ready to stand down for Andy Burnham if he makes a return to Parliament. Well, Andy Burnham has told reporters today he would fight to the highest level if he is successful in contesting and then winning the Makerfield by-election. An Israeli airstrike on a town in southern Lebanon has killed 6 people, including 3 paramedics, according to Lebanon's health ministry. It comes as the US said the 2 countries had agreed to a 45-day ceasefire. The health ministry said a 4th paramedic had sustained critical injuries after a civil defense centre was attacked in the town of Haruf. On Friday, the US State Department announced Israel and Lebanon had agreed to extend their shaky ceasefire after 2 days of negotiations. Donald Trump announced the truth on the 16th of April, but Israel and Hezbollah continued to exchange fire. Meanwhile, President Trump says the second in command of ISIS globally has been killed in a joint operation carried out by US and Nigerian forces. The US president described the mission as meticulously planned and praised Nigeria's government for its role in eliminating Abu Bilal al-Manuki, one of the world's most wanted terrorists. A charity has called for a wider rollout of meningitis vaccines after a teenager in Oxfordshire died after contracting the disease. Lewis Waters, a 6th form pupil at the Henley College, died earlier this week. 2 pupils, one from Reading Bluecoat School and another from Highdown Secondary School and 6th form centre in Reading, are also being treated for meningitis. The Department of Health and Social Care said the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation is reviewing eligibility for routine meningitis B vaccinations. And the King was greatly shocked and saddened to have learned of the death of a soldier at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, a Buckingham Palace spokesperson says, adding King Charles will be in touch with the family to share his personal condolences. Well, the soldier was part of the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery and fell at around 7 p.m. on Friday after exiting the arena. Thames Valley Police said despite being given immediate medical treatment, the soldier sustained serious injuries and died at the scene. Those are the latest headlines for now. It's back to Dawn.
Tune in to GB News Radio wherever you are. Online, on DAB Digital Radio, on TuneIn, on Radio Player, on Nation Player and on your smart speaker. Just say, play GB News.
Ready, Tatiana? Ein, zwei, drei. No, we're not doing it anymore. We're not doing it anymore. Tatiana can actually sing. I quite clearly can't. OK, thank you, Tatiana. Now let's get straight into the subjects of the day. And obviously the big one is the marches going on through London. So let's go straight to it. Tens of thousands have gathered for the rallies in the capital. The Met says today it could be one of the busiest operations in years, with our officers deployed across the city. Heavy restrictions have been put in place in a bid to keep the Unite the Kingdom and the pro-Palestine Nakba Day rallies separate. GB News reporter Doogie Beattie joins us now from the Unite the Kingdom rally in central London. Doogie, how's it going?
Dawn, well, as you can see behind us, I mean, there are thousands and thousands of people here, but there was more that was actually stopped by the police on the way down in, whether they were trying to pulse how many people come into the area. Trafalgar Square is totally cordoned off, and Whitehall and Downing Street, the railings are up across, and the TSG is in place there. Full TSG, we might say, almost creating pinch points throughout the city, but it hasn't put people off arriving here, and I'm joined by a few of them now. Sir, why are you here?
Same reason as everybody else, I suppose. Get our country back. Shirt says it all.
You're from Kent. Yeah. What has brought you here?
Because we're just fed up of people on boats coming over and just taking over our country and raping our women and children.
Yeah, no, from Kent in particular,
yes, because they're all coming in at Dover, and you know, and we've got so many in where we live in Kent. It's just frightening. We don't go out of an evening on our own.
And what do you think of this government's reaction to you being here today?
They're weak. They're weak. We've got to take a stand now, because this can't keep happening. This isn't England anymore. Something's got to be done. And that's why we're here protesting.
And you, sir?
Yes.
I mean, where have you came from?
Leicestershire.
Where did you travel down this morning?
Yes.
And I mean, what do you see here? What
patriotism. Patriotism.
Yeah. Describe patriotism. What is it that brings the UK together?
We all come together. There's no racism. We're realists. We've had enough of these people infiltrating our country. Immigration is at a loss. They're well down the road. This government don't care. They don't give a monkeys, and previous governments don't.
I'm going to have to stop you there, sir.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying. There you are, Dawn. And with that and those opinions, it's back to you.
Thank you very much, Doogie Beattie, there, live at Unite the Kingdom March for us. We will be going back to Doogie throughout the show and covering everything that's happening down there. Now, obviously, people on these marches, passions are running very high on both sides. So you're going to hear some very, very strong opinions. Whether you agree with them or not is entirely down to you. That's what this show's about. If you disagree, get in touch. gbnews.com/your say. These are people's opinions. We are giving them an opportunity to say them, but we'll give the opposite side as well. But they are less likely to talk to the media, not just GB News, the media in general. OK, joining me now to discuss what is going on is Alex Hearn from Labour Against Anti-Semitism. Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you today. What do you make of these two marches going on in London today?
Well, I don't believe in banning marches. I believe in policing them equally, and the failure to do that is exactly how we got here. At least, in my opinion, they should both be heavily restricted. But the police have really made a rod for their own backs after allowing these supposedly pro-Palestinian hate marches to go completely unrestricted for 2.5 years. And now they've finally admitted what we all knew, that there was criminality on a huge scale and that marchers deliberately and persistently targeted synagogues and synagogue goers. So it was really wrong not to restrict these marches because it compromised the core democratic value of freedom to worship and it endangered the Jewish community. We know that stats show that racist attacks are linked to those rallies, and their leader is on bail for breaching restrictions when they were finally applied in one case to protect synagogue goers. So, of course, it was only a matter of time.
Alex, sorry, we have to keep away from any live legal cases, so we just keep away from any cases that are going through court at the moment, please.
Sure. It was only a matter of time before others looked and expected the same treatment, and they'll complain if they're treated differently. So just look at how the far-right march in East London was instantly excluded from the entire borough. Now, Jewish people looked at that, and then we looked at the protest, which was allowed outside a synagogue, and we knew it was about political will, not law, because we saw selective enforcement. So politically, there was this calculation by consecutive governments that inaction was better, and Jews paid the price, and taxpayers paid the price.
Okay,
Tens of millions.
We are seeing some fairly horrific banners and chants on that march already. Let's talk about the Unite the Kingdom march. I mean, obviously the Jewish community historically has come under attack from the right, the far right, as our Prime Minister insists on calling some people. Do you have an issue with some of the sentiments maybe being expressed on that march?
I have an issue with people following Tommy Robinson, who I would describe as an opportunistic agitator. We're talking about someone who turned up at a car crash in Kensington, declaring to his live stream that it was a terrorist incident. We're talking about someone who wrote an essay called The Jewish Question in defense of Kanye West and arguing that Jews control the media. Then you've got contempt of court, fraud, violence. He nearly collapsed a grooming trial for clicks, and he's got 5 criminal convictions, including kicking a police officer in the head while he was on the floor. So he's no purveyor of truth, and people like him exploit genuine fears for self-promotion. So on one side, I've seen calls to destroy Israel and pro-Ayatollah flags and placards, and I'm seeing synagogue goers having to arrive and leave surrounded by a hate march. And on the other side, I've seen a banner at the Tommy Robinson organised march that says, "End Zionist occupation of Britain." Now, that's the same banner you see at pro-Palestine marches every weekend. I've just seen a pro-Palestine placard from their side of the rally that says, "Hang every Zog." Zog meaning Zionist-occupied government, this neo-Nazi conspiracy fantasy started in the 90s. So in places, both movements had landed on the same anti-Jewish conspiracy. Jews don't belong, Jews control things, Jews are the occupier. And in that regard, the horseshoe is a circle. But what I would say is that both marches are about expressing disillusion with the system in different ways. One exploits anger about immigration and the other about foreign policy. In my opinion, Tommy Robinson uses Jews as props, but for the pro-Palestine movement, hatred of Jews is the entire point.
I mean, obviously, Tommy Robinson is not here to defend himself. He would say that this is about patriotism. This is about uniting the kingdom. Indeed. Meanwhile, I just wanted to ask you what you make of what our Prime Minister had to say, describing the Unite the Kingdom march. We are facing a battle for the nation's soul. Many of the people on this march would be racist thugs. Would you agree with him on that?
I can't speak for the people on the march. I can only speak about the person who they're aligning behind, which I have done. What I will say is that the supposedly anti-racist establishment has mobilised thousands to oppose Tommy Robinson today. But where have they been for nearly 2.5 years while Jews were being attacked every weekend? They'll march against the far right. They won't march against anti-Jewish racism. And that tells you everything about who counts as a victim in this country. Some of these anti-racists even go door knocking, checking ideological purity about boycotting the only Jewish state. Now, what I would say is that if you genuinely care about Jewish safety, ask yourself why the man you're marching behind wrote an essay defending Kanye West's Nazi strength anti-Jewish racism. I would say he doesn't care about Jews, he cares about Tommy Robinson.
Alex, obviously we've discussed at length many of the attacks on the Jewish community in recent years, and it seems to be happening more often in recent months. Do you feel safe in London?
No, it's really sad, but actually, you know, we have to guard our places of worship, we have to guard our schools with kind of airport securities. Even the Solidarity rally had airport-style security with bag searches and metal detectors. So no, I don't think we are. We have to go to Jewish events. We keep them secret. The location has to be kept secret until the last minute. I don't think that is normal. I don't think any of the way that Jews are forced to live in this kind of ghettoized society is at all acceptable and normal. And people should reject the fact that we have to live in the world that we do.
And Alex, how do you think the Prime Minister is dealing with this rise in anti-Semitism in this country? Are you happy with what you're seeing him say and do?
We're hearing a lot of words, but whether we see action is another question. He has had 2.5 years to act after the previous government failed to act too, I should also point out. But we have heard it so many times, and the frustration with that is what you heard when he was heckled in Golders Green, because we've been allowed to be abused. You had a Jewish lawyer arrested at a rally for wearing a Star of David, saying that it was triggering the racist protesters. So what's happened is that you've seen Jews removed because it's politically easier to do that than to actually challenge the hate mob. So yes, I like the words. We've heard words before. I will wait to see action.
Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, the Prime Minister isn't here to defend himself. I'm sure he would say he's doing everything within his power, and anti-Semitism is abhorrent, which, of course, it will all do. Just quickly, before I let you go, Alex, we're facing a battle for the nation's soul. It's the one quote I keep coming back to today, the Prime Minister's words about what is going on in London today. Could you define the nation's soul to me? What does it mean to you?
I have no idea what that means, quite honestly. You know, the Prime Minister talked about kind of protecting British decency and tolerance, but actually the government and the Prime Minister in particular have the power to do this. And we're kind of grateful for firefighting these attacks that we suffer. And actually what should be happening is a lot deeper. And if there's a battle for the nation's soul, then the Prime Minister and the government should be at the forefront of that.
Yeah, good words. Thank you so much, Alex. That's Alex Hearn from Labour Against Anti-Semitism. Thank you so much for joining us there. As I keep saying throughout this show, we are talking to people who have very strong opinions on this situation. It's dividing, it is very divisive, and we are giving lots of people an opportunity to speak, including you, by the way, because you are the most important people. gbnews.com/your say and join in the conversation. What did you make of what Alex had to say? There were strong words. Lily Moo had some strong words. What do you think? All About You. I read as many out as I possibly can. Now, it is, oh my gosh, it's 2:20 already. If you are on about, remember, we're on the radio, and it's certainly if you're on any of the marches. But now it is time for the Great British Giveaway and your chance to have that spectacular summer on us, not me personally, but the company. And you could win £76,543.21 in tax-free cash to make it a really wonderful summer. And I think you deserve it. Here's how you enter.
There's a totally tax-free £76,543.21 in cash to be won. Cash to spend on anything you like. That's like having over £6,000 extra to spend each month for a whole year. You could spend it on a bucket list holiday, treats for all of the family, or just save it for a rainy day. Just make sure you don't miss your chance to win £76,543.21 for a chance to win £76,543.21 in tax-free cash. Text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB21 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 26th of June. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pulled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Good luck indeed. I preferred it when they used to go, good luck. That was more dramatic, wasn't it? Good luck in any case. I'm Dawn Neeson, Mrs. GB News. There's lots more coming up on today's show. The Prime Minister braces for battle as the road to Parliament is clear for Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makerfield by-election, reported to be happening now in the middle of June. Meanwhile, nothing is happening in the government, but hey, all of that and much more to come. This is GB News at Britain's News Channel. We'll see you very soon.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off-limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it.
That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience, because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions, but every Friday night at 9 p.m. you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel. As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in,
Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
Because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christie's Tonight, Late Edition.
Alex Armstrong Tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
I've been in Westminster for a long time. But I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country. There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor. Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hello, welcome back to The Weekend with me, Dawn Neeson. Thank you so much for your company. Now, to the political story of the day. Obviously, the Prime Minister is bracing himself for battle as the road to Parliament is cleared for Andy Burnham. Labour's ruling body, the NEC, have given the Greater Manchester Mayor permission to stand in the Makerfield by-election, reported to take place in June. It comes as current MP Josh Simons announced he would quit Parliament to make way for Mr Burnham. That's very kind of him, isn't it? Joining me now is former Mayor of Middlesbrough, Andy Preston. Andy, good to see you. Thank you so much. Now, Andy, you've been a mayor. You've been a mayor. What's going on here? What do you make of sort of Andy's behaviour here?
It's sneaky. Well, Bridget Phillipson is being so sneaky here. What she's done is Andy Burnham's wanted this job forever. In fact, he stood twice before. He's really desperate for this job. She said he's a strong candidate. Now, a cabinet member saying that the man who wants to get rid of the current PM is a strong candidate, that's a full endorsement. But what she's done, Dawn, she's circled back at the last minute and said, oh, well, Keir Starmer has my full support. He doesn't, of course. She's the first one to come out and say it, so that the cabinet is absolutely starting to fall apart. This is the first major step after Wes Streeting. Let's see what happens. Burnham looks good. You know, he's out there jogging in his T-shirt. He looks healthy.
Hold on. Andy Preston, those shorts, I'm sorry. When you say look good, can we just put that in inverted commas?
Well, I have to make it clear to you and everyone else that I don't find him attractive, but I think he looks appealing. He looks energetic, full of life. Compare that to Starmer, who looks flat-footed, flabby, and just, you know, at the end of his game, really. So, look, Bridget Phillipson is being sneaky. She's trying to welcome Andy Burnham because, Dawn, he will probably, not certainly, but probably be the next PM. What she's worried, though, if she backs him too much and he doesn't become PM, she's out of favour with Starmer.
Isn't it fascinating, Andy? The thing I can't get my head around with this is it's all about their political ambition. It's not about the people of Manchester, who Andy Burnham said, I'm going to serve a full term. I'm going to do my best for Manchester. It's not about the people, you know, in Makerfield, where the local election is going to take place. It's about them and their political ambition. What happened to the voters?
What happens to the voters? You know, Andy Burnham, his teams, whether he will be, I don't know, but his teams are going to be out knocking on doors all over Makerfield, aren't they? And what's the message? Is it vote for me and help me get my long-term ambition? I've wanted this job for 20 years. Help me get it, please. And if you vote me in, then I might just represent you as well. It's the actual being an MP part of it has gone out the window. This is actually a referendum, isn't it? A referendum, a local referendum, Keir Starmer versus Andy Burnham. It's not about an MP.
Yeah, just interrupting you quickly there, Andy, we're showing you live pictures now on your screen now of the Unite the Kingdom march, I believe, on Westminster Bridge in London. So they are live pictures, and we will be going back to that as soon as we have any more information on what's happening there. But Andy, this is. I mean, how long can how long can Keir Starmer survive with this going on? As you say, Bridget Phillipson's come out now and sort of hedging her bets as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think I've said to you over the months that Keir Starmer's not got long left, but he clings on. But I think actually he's much tougher than I thought. He seems like, forgive me, a bit of a wimp, but he manages to hang on and he just toughs it out. He's got the skin of a rhino. So I wouldn't say it's impossible that he's still there in 6 months, but it feels like it's gathering momentum now, doesn't it? I mean, it's definitely, you know, you had Wes Streeting with that catastrophic letter. He stood down. Andy Burnham's, you know, got his by-election he's been craving for months. And now Bridget Phillipson is, in quite a clever, subtle way, she said, I back Andy Burnham over Keir Starmer. So it's definitely falling apart, and next week might well see it gather. I mean, the last week, goodness, how full of action was that? Next week might be even more dramatic.
Get the popcorn in. And we are expecting to hear from Wes Streeting this afternoon. We don't know what he's going to say. I mean, obviously, he put that letter in, but he hasn't actually announced that he's officially going to run to challenge Keir Starmer. Do you think he will say that this afternoon?
I don't. I think he'll hang on. My gut feel is that he will stand, but what he won't want to do is stand and possibly even win when Andy Burnham isn't in the mix. Because winning when Andy Burnham's not around is not going to help anyone, because he's always going to be there in the background, popular and probably most people's choice. So you're never going to be the number one choice. If you're going to win that election to be leader of the Labour Party, you want Andy Burnham to be in the mix as well.
Andy, it's going to be very interesting because, you know, it's a gamble. I mean, you step away from being mayor, you could lose this by-election, your political career is basically finished.
Yeah, it's a huge gamble. He's taking risk, and that's something, of course, that Starmer was never willing to. It shows the difference between the two men. I reckon, I've been crunching numbers for weeks on this, I think Reform will win the Greater Manchester mayoral election. That's my gut feel. I think they're most likely to. I think with regards to the by-election in Makerfield, I think it's 50-50. I mean, Labour, Andy Burnham's team and Reform will throw the kitchen sink at this. I mean, Reform would win that, Dawn, if it was any other candidate. Andy Burnham's got an X factor, he's got a following, which will make it, in my mind, about 50-50.
Interesting times ahead. Get that popcorn in. Andy, thank you so much. That's former Mayor of Middlesbrough, Andy Preston there. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, let us know what you think. gbnews.com/your say. Join in the conversation on politics, on the marches, or even the Eurovision Song Contest if you absolutely have to. But I promise I will not sing any more, because I certainly won't have a chance to win. There's lots more coming up on today's show.
The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are peddling hatred and division.
That video, honestly. Starmer's warning obviously didn't work, though, did it? More than 100,000 people have, we think it's around that number, are attending the Unite the Kingdom rally in central London today. That's as the government intervened and blocked 11 speakers, including 2 Democratically MPs, from entering the UK for the event. All of that and much more to come. I'm Dawn Neeson. This is GB News Channel. I'll see you very soon.
Hello there, welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office, and we'll see increasing amounts of cloud moving in from the west through today, limiting the amount of sunshine to eastern areas, and there will be some patchy rain as well. It's this weather front that is slowly pushing its way eastward today, introducing that cloud and patchy rain. But brightness holding on across eastern areas, though becoming increasingly limited later on in the afternoon, with patchy rain pushing its way eastwards across most parts. The rain could turn heavy at times across parts of Northern Ireland into Wales later on today, with some showers starting to follow. But many eastern areas along the coast there staying dry, with temperatures in any sunshine reaching 15 or 16 Celsius as the winds start to turn more westerly. We start to lose that cold northerly breeze that we've had in recent days. This evening time, the band of rain across western Scotland will continue to slowly push north and eastward, so a dry evening to come across northern and eastern parts here. Temperatures around 10 or 11 Celsius. Showers across Northern Ireland, some glimmers of sunshine, but a wet evening to come across much of England and Wales. Patchy rain, 1 or 2 heavier bursts possible in the west, and that's slowly pushing eastwards later on. Overnight, the band of rain continues to push across the country, with clearer spells and showers following on behind. Some of these showers could be heavy for Northern Ireland, some gusty winds developing too. And under the clearer spells, temperatures will drop away overnight, but not as low as recent nights. We saw -5 in Scotland last night. We're looking more likely 6 or 7 degrees under the cloud and rain. But it does mean a cloudy, damp start to the day on Sunday across Scotland, showers across Northern Ireland. England and Wales are generally a bright start with sunny spells, and that continues through the day, but those showers moving in as we go into the afternoon. Some of them will be heavy at times, a risk of hail and thunder. Best of the sunshine in the east, and highs of 16 to 17 Celsius, so a little warmer.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates, 5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What does she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Hello, welcome back to The Weekend with me, Dawn Neeson. Thank you so much for your company this afternoon. Now, the big story of the day, and you're all talking about it, and I know I keep saying I'll read as many out as possibly can, but there's so many coming in, I keep losing them as I want to read them. Now, tens of thousands have gathered for rallies in the capital today. The Met says that it could be one of the busiest operations for years, with facial recognition cameras, drones, mounted officers, all deployed across the city. Heavy restrictions have been put in place to keep the Unite the Kingdom and pro-Palestine Nakba Day rallies separate. But, as Doogie Beattie was saying earlier on, it looks like there might be some pinch points emerging. Now, we will be going back to Doogie as soon as we can to get an update on that, so please don't go anywhere. But we have someone who's just hot-footed it live from the march with us now. It's photographer Alistair Hilton. Alistair, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Last year you were at this march. You took some brilliant photos. You've just come from there. How's it going down there?
It's a great atmosphere, and it was a great atmosphere last year. Last year I went there, fantastic atmosphere. This year, fantastic atmosphere. You sort of came away, and then people going, "Oh, there's all this violence. There's all this." There wasn't any, or certainly I didn't see any. It was just a really good event. Everybody, I'm photographing, it's sort of, an observer, if you like, and people are having a good time. There's young people, old people, women, men, everybody.
It does seem to be, we've got a reporter covering this march and a reporter covering the Nakba march as well. So we have got both going on. There's certainly a different atmosphere from one march to the other. Now, we're hearing reports of arrests at both marches. That seems fairly equal so far. But we're talking to people on here, getting messages coming in. We've got pensioners there, we've got families there, people with little kids there who are worried about the future of this country. Now, our Prime Minister says we are facing a battle for the nation's soul, and implying that many of the people on this march are indeed racist thugs. What would you say to him?
I think I try not to say too much to Keir Starmer. I do actually find it a struggle to watch him or see him or hear him. But I think British people want fairness. I think that is really what they want. And I think people are on this march for all sorts of reasons. But one is they think, hang on a minute, we're sick of being called racist, this and this and this. And watching, boat after boat after boat after boat arriving. He doesn't know, Keir Starmer doesn't know who's on those boats, and, there are people that are causing trouble in this country.
It doesn't make you racist to be worried about border control.
No, of course it doesn't. And I think the word racist has you get called racist every day of the week for saying anything. It's lost any meaning. It's lost any meaning. And I think people are just fed up, and they've got to the end of their tether and go, hang on. We're proud to wave a Union Jack. And why shouldn't they wave a Union Jack? Plenty of times, I live in London, I see a Palestinian flag waved all the time for over 2 years. We have had Palestinian marches saying terrible, terrible things about Jews and about this, that and the other. And these are British people who are just marching with a Union Jack or a St George flag or a Welsh or a Scottish or whatever. They're just saying, hang on, this is our country. Our parents, our grandparents, whatever, made the country, and we're proud of it. And why shouldn't we be? It doesn't make us racist, doesn't make us terrible people.
Do you think any of the politicians are listening? And this is not a political point, it's not about Labour, it's not about Conservatives, it's not about any political party, but do you think the politicians are in touch with what people in this country are actually thinking?
No. I think they've got so far removed. I have been known to go to a pub many times, and you wouldn't find a politician in a pub, or very, very, very rarely. And so they're not hearing the real people. They're surrounded by their little group who don't actually represent anybody in a pub that I would meet. So they're totally detached from sort of the real person. Keir Starmer has just had a metaphorical kicking in the polls in the local elections, and here he is, he's learnt nothing, and then he's saying, British people, you're all racist, you're terrible people. He hasn't said that about the Palestinian marches. He's just saying it about the actual British people. You're terrible. So you couldn't get much more out of touch than that Prime Minister, to be honest.
Have you ever covered any of the pro-Palestinian marches as a photographer that have gone on?
I have been to them. I have seen them. And whereas the atmosphere, and honestly, I've been an independent observer. I'm there to get photos and show it. But honestly, when I've done the Palestinian sort of marches, there has not been a good feel. There has not been this sort of family, day out, kids, whatever. There have been people who I felt are there to really be quite nasty people.
Give us some experiences of what you've had on these marches.
Well, they will say quite outrageous things about all sorts of people, whether that's Jews or non-Muslims or whatever. They say quite terrible things about British people, which is incredible because they are in Britain. So, definitely the whole feel of a Palestinian march, I haven't been to today's, but the whole feel of ones where I have seen them before has been a very different non-party atmosphere,
And when you, as a photographer, obviously you have to talk to people, taking their picture, you have to ask permission these days. When you talk to people on both marches, what do they say? People
today, I mean, I've taken a few pictures today, they're on my Twitter or whatever, or X, but you take them and they smile, they laugh, they think this is great fun. Oh, yeah, great, I like my photo. And you can have a few minutes chat with them, or a minute or 10 seconds chat. Great, love it, happy days, off you go. On the Palestinian sort of type marches, there is no interaction. There's no nothing, if I'm honest. You take the picture, they don't like it. They want to have their picture there because they want the publicity of whatever it is they're protesting about, but there is no interaction, none.
Why do you think that is? Well, I mean, because this is the streets of London. I mean, most people here are Brits. Most of the people on both marches are Brits.
Yeah, I'm not sure the word British means much anymore, because you could be Somali and Pakistani or anything and have the word British in your title. So they're people that have got to the point they've been allowed to say whatever they want to say for so long that no longer they realise, hang on, we can say whatever we like. We can literally abuse the British people, abuse the British system, that's the impression I get. And no longer do they think, oh, I better not say that. They just do it. And they've been allowed to do it. And the Prime Minister has never commented, that I know, on Palestinian marches. They've been going on for over 2 years, every week in London, causing a right chaos and a right pain. There's one march last year for United Kingdom, one now for United Kingdom. Oh, my goodness, there couldn't be more forceful condemnation from our Prime Minister.
Alistair, we're just running out of time quickly. Alistair, Alex, thank you.
Alistair.
Alistair, sorry, I'm getting confused. There's so many people with the name A coming in here. Alistair, just quickly and finally, the Prime Minister says this is a battle for the nation's soul. Just quickly, what do you think he means?
Who knows what he means, but I think it sort of is a battle for the nation's soul. I think he's right. I just think he's on the wrong side of that soul.
Indeed. Good words. Thank you so much for coming in, Alistair. Apologies for that. So many people I'm talking to today. That's Alistair Hilton, photographer there. And if you're going back to the march, get some more good pictures for us.
Thank you very much
for joining us. OK, now, and obviously, let us know what you think. I'm Dawn Neeson with GB News. Lots more coming up on today's show. But if you are in search of some holiday sun, it's a bit nippy at the moment still here, isn't it? Here's the forecast for the top European holiday destinations.
Ready to soak up that holiday sunshine?
Won't we need some cover?
No worries. All sorted.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
The weather across southern Europe is looking fairly mixed tomorrow. We do have high pressure out in the Atlantic just to the west of Iberia, and that's bringing generally settled conditions across much of Spain and Portugal. Not totally dry though, a few outbreaks of rain, particularly towards the north, and there are some outbreaks of rain further east, particularly around parts of Croatia and Greece, and some of this could be heavy at times. But the fine weather looks to be more dominant as we go into next week. Bye-bye.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in,
Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christie's tonight, Late Edition.
Alex Armstrong tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
GB News Breakfast. Every day from 6 a.m.
Unbelievable thing you've done. How are you?
I'm absolutely exhausted.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got in here today, frankly. But you know what I really love, and this is the thing that inspires everybody, because everybody gets inspired when they see the marathon on TV. I was driving along on Sunday, and honestly, I counted 30 runners out on the streets, which you would never normally see. Now, you have never been a constant runner, someone that's always been out there on the street, because you went from nothing to do this, is that right?
I was not even a sports fan, so unlike you, big Spurs fan, I know, but like I was unfit, not into sports at all. I turned 40 2 years ago. It's my birthday next week. And thank you. And I decided to do this charity challenge. So actually, it will be my 2-year running anniversary in May.
Right, now I don't even get how you suddenly go, you know what, I'm going to be this, let's run across India, let's do 100 marathons, because do you start with literally like the old counts to 5K and then we move on and then move on and move on?
Yeah, definitely started with 5K runs, and obviously that massively grew. Totally. But yeah, the run across India, it was basically from the Pakistan border, and then I ran east and then kind of down to the centre and then to the east to the Bengal border, which was 100 marathon distance in 100 days. And it was along something called the Old Inland Customs Line.
Was this... I was talking to Simon Calder just now, because we had Simon Calder in here, wasn't he, talking about holidays?
Travel correspondent.
And I was saying, I'm going off slightly on one, but he was saying, well, you know, because I'm going to fly to India before I go on a holiday somewhere else, and then he said, well, you need to get a visa. Is it easy just to go to India and just say, I'm going to run across your country now?
It's not. My father was actually born in India and born in Calcutta, which is why
is this the reason you chose India?
It's one of the reasons I chose India.
Right. GB News, the People's Channel.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that, because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
Needs to stop. You think we can allow?
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hello, welcome back to the weekend with me, Dawn Neeson. So many of you getting in touch about all the people we're talking today. James summing up what a lot of people are saying. Oh, look at all those thugs on that march waving those flags with their little kids, looking like they're having a really horrible time. They're not thugs. How strange. Lots of you, and Alistair, the photographer we just talked, whose name I got wrong, that's terrible of me, talking to earlier, he said he talks total sense. And Andy says the more Starmer speaks, the more he's rejected by Britain. Keep them coming in, gbnews.com/your say. Now, OK, we know, tens of thousands are marching in the capital today. The Met, say, is one of the busiest organisations in years, with facial recognition cameras, drones, mounted officers, all deployed across the city. OK, now, we have spoken to lots and lots of voices on this show, different opinions, so let's go and get one now from, brace yourself, people, political commentator Matthew Stadlen. Matthew, where are you? Sitting in a car, aren't you? Matthew, these two marches going on, it's costing us a fortune. The police are sort of like, detracted from all the other crime going on. What do you make of it?
Hello, Dawn, and hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm actually in between ferrying my children from one party to another. In London, I might add, where I live, very peaceful scenes in the parts of London that I've been travelling through today. Just a couple of helicopters overhead. Listen, my view is very clear. Tommy Robinson is not trying to unite the United Kingdom. Pull the other one. I'm not even going to get drawn into any nonsense about it. It's just so blindingly obvious. I wouldn't touch his march with a barge pole. I wouldn't touch the other march, the pro-Palestinian marches, with a barge pole. Absolutely not. I know that there will be racists on both. It's not my cup of tea. However, I also passionately defend freedom of speech and the right to protest. That is foundational to our democracy. So in a sense, I'm glad that both of these marches are going ahead. But anyone on either of those marches who breaks the law should have the full force of the law of this land brought down upon them. And I very much hope, though, that won't be necessary. I very much hope there won't be trouble on either of them.
From what we're hearing so far, Matthew, there have been a surprisingly few arrests on both sides, which is brilliant news for everybody, obviously. What did you make of the Prime Minister's speech the day before this happened, with that nice soft-focus video he did in front of a lovely fireplace? Very nice it was. Saying that, you know, we're facing a battle for the nation's soul and there are racist thugs on the Unite the Kingdom march. Would you agree with him?
Did he actually say there were racist thugs on the march? I think he was talking about banning people, some of whom he described as racist. So I think it's important to get that right.
He said organisers are racist thugs.
He didn't say that people on the march were racist thugs.
Well, the people on the march are the organisers and they're racist thugs.
No, he was talking about banning certain people from the country, Dawn. I think that's what he was referring to. So it's important to be accurate on that. People can listen to the clip for themselves.
Let's be accurate here, Matthew. He was talking about people who organise this march, and one of them happens to be Tommy Robinson. There are organisers. He said they are racist thugs.
Okay, but from what I heard of him when he was talking about racists, he was talking about people who had been banned. But look, we could agree to disagree, and maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong. The point is, of course, not everyone on that march is going to be racist. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that children on a day out with their families are racist. Obviously not. That would be absurd. What I am saying is I've got absolutely no doubt there will be bigots and racists on both of those marches today. And yes, there is a hell of a lot of racism around. There's a hell of a lot of Islamophobia around. There's a hell of a lot of anti-Semitism around. There's a hell of a lot of bigotry around, which is fueled, sparked, empowered, emboldened, I think, by social media. I spent quite a bit of time looking at what's going on in social media. Some of it is absolute filth. And I agree with Keir Starmer that the vast majority of our great country do not stand with the racists or the bigots. And therefore, I think he's right to say that the vast and quiet majority are not interested in this stuff. I think he's spot on. And you've got to stand up and say what and be counted. You've got to stand up and say what you think. Sometimes Starmer's been too timid. I think he made a mistake with that strangers. Do you remember he made that comment about we don't want to become a country of strangers, a kingdom, an island of strangers? Yes, he recognises that was a mistake. It's an example of where he has made mistakes, the Prime Minister. I think what he said yesterday was much more akin to what he really believes, and we need to see more of that going forward. I'm not going to condemn everyone on either of those marches. There are people who are genuinely concerned about illegal immigration. There are people who are genuinely concerned about what's going on in Gaza. If you want to protest about those things, protest about them, but do so peacefully and don't spread hate.
OK, Matthew, thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy that afternoon with the little ones. That's political commentator Matthew Stadlen there. OK, I'm Dawn Neeson. This is GB News. Thank you all so much for your company this afternoon. I really appreciated it, and I would have read more out, but it was so bonkers that. But keep coming in and don't go anywhere, because Nana Akwe is up next, and she'll be covering the marches too.
Yes, thank you very much, Dawn. Yes, I'm back from the Unite the Kingdom rally, the so-called far-right rally that I went to, which was not really far-right at all. It was full of perfectly decent people explaining why they were there. I do a little niggle on that, so you won't want to miss that one. I was in the heart of the rally. I had a fabulous time. And I've got to say, Matthew Stadlen, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, yes, of course there are people of all extremes at anything. You can never have the same people everywhere. Honestly, stating the absolutely obvious. All right, weather's next.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello there, welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast from the Met Office, and we'll see increasing amounts of cloud moving in from the west through today, limiting the amount of sunshine to eastern areas, and there will be some patchy rain as well. It's this weather front that is slowly pushing its way eastward today, introducing that cloud and patchy rain. But brightness holding on across eastern areas, though becoming increasingly limited later on in the afternoon, with patchy rain pushing its way eastwards across most parts. The rain could turn heavy at times across parts of Northern Ireland into Wales later on today, with some showers starting to follow. But many eastern areas along the coast there staying dry, temperatures in any sunshine reaching 15 or 16 Celsius. As the winds start to turn more westerly, we start to lose that cold northerly breeze that we've had in recent days. This evening time, the band of rain across western Scotland will continue to slowly push north and eastward, so a dry evening to come across northern and eastern parts here. Temperatures around 10 or 11 Celsius. Showers across Northern Ireland, some glimmers of sunshine, but a wet evening to come across much of England and Wales. Patchy rain, 1 or 2 heavier bursts possible in the west, and that's slowly pushing eastwards later on. Overnight, the band of rain continues to push across the country, with clearer spells and showers following on behind. Some of these showers could be heavy for Northern Ireland, some gusty winds developing too. And under the clearer spells, temperatures will drop away overnight, but not as low as recent nights. We saw -5 in Scotland last night. We're looking more likely 6 or 7 degrees under the cloud and rain. But it does mean a cloudy, damp start to the day on Sunday across Scotland. Showers across Northern Ireland, England and Wales. Generally a bright start with sunny spells, and that continues through the day, but those showers moving in as we go into the afternoon. Some of them will be heavy at times, the risk of hail and thunder. Best of the sunshine in the east, and highs of 16 to 17 Celsius, so a little warmer.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
We're counting down to a spectacular summer. It's your chance to win £76,543 and 21 pence in totally tax-free cash. A lump sum that you could have in time to splash out with this summer. And because it's tax-free, you get to keep every single penny. For a chance to win, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB21 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 26th of June. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand.